It's been Ushia, and so see a penny.
There be only penny for me, Castle only penny for Shia, so only Georgia Free Atanase, only Sabatomo, only Ura Salam, MP Mo, and then in the Seja. Yeah, Bomiki Charles did that.
Now, Asamabo, Esan say, a year, many a year, a wife from Kwana TNT, send me there assembly day.
And you want to worry for.
I mean, I'm
on worry, oh, worry, oh, Jaja, can't some hours. I said, worry, on worry, or worry. Okay, we're in a while.
That is say no.
Why should I declare myself?
Why should I declare myself? Jesse, or you're in a while.
Yvette. Now, Okako Anan Amponsa.
Dabi, and one
okay. Mayere,
Minaya Abak,
money.
Abaka,
your friend Regina.
Sir,
Your friend Regina. Abba.
Abaka.
Abaka. No, Nidino, me person, Mississini. Your friend Regina. Minaya. The Dino Cromo money, the Dean Ed Regina. Minaya. Abba. Nana Tewia. Abaka. Wood. The Dean and my family and Punk.
How about the uncle?
Median can.
But Udin can it,
there be the meeting can.
Indeed,
no, you saw no.
Only say, a year as a padiano, Mubutu SSF.
And as a oh, year,
Dabi, as a padiano, a typical to a Mubutu SSF.
Now, as a party, how now,
oh, Dabi, say a lead council. But as a
so, or was some kappa company Madu on your
oh, say the say
I could say some pen Obi Abbo son of Bine Casama.
I cannot declare my assets on radio.
I know your issue.
You don't declare
okay.
I cannot declare my assets on
radio.
Yes.
Oh, I read that.
And then found.
He doesn't have a record.
And then found.
Doesn't matter.
Obey to my say.
You don't all marriages and registered at the registered general department.
No.
When it is customary,
it is accepted by the law.
It's accepted by law, but it is not registered at the registered general department.
Customary marriage. Sana Oka.
Yes.
Sana Oka marry us in.
Yes.
That will be announced. So we are wedding.
Say, oh, worry. Nay, see, Nipa 5 and never me will be.
Who the young
but we are
Jesse may say I'm putting it to use as all co Nipa 5 and I say bow and I say and our marriage ceremony and I say I'll be there.
But as some as you say a trend
marriage twice.
Hey! What they ask you twice? Would you rough.
Now, Asamba kwa a trend they say a see divorce case be a court a year a trend pa na so ba no say a adamity case wo USA you see be man say oh na oba no enya kidney failure o ma ne de baako inti wamanu baako na afei de after operation o say on worry build then on fa ne de baako ba we no you see oba no say
Ghana has 7 hours.
yes report no tie say na report ne ba you see oba no say and me quote no or say return my virginity and my standing breast if you want us to divorce. Teacher tells husband in court.
Teacher ni no akansa
achire ne court. Teacher ni nana do danko akufo ado Ghana man poni a wetwam ekecho om so omodo maketua wosoro nti asasi so ai de omuntumi ndi de teacher ni na wakoka tire say my lord say divorce no media to ma a branch be family na me hu be mother clean sheet obi afate na ntomu na sabe mpenifo migina monim kasa kakra menofo nso na ejenyina so abrantie se nya twe a wasa ma ne mba be twe no foi na enne wo wie ya wo su jai me enti my lord sɛ mɛgye atom ama yɛde divorce na abade and the man has to restore my virginity ɛna afei me nofo no a ɔba bɛfa me no na adwene na wonim sɛ maame ne de kan sɛ nana do ka kyerɛ sɛ yɛaketua wɔ so yɛgye to mu but my lord sɛ woka kyerɛ me sɛ wei yɛbɛ restore ama me wɔ soro a mengye nto mu nti prof ɛne awarefo a mo ha wei ɛna trend a ɛnyɛ wei yɛ Friday trends no nti wei ɛyɛ case a ɛkɔ a ɛnkyɛ bia no ɛbɛyɛ butu cause ɔsi sɛnya papa no mpanimfoɔ anɔpa ɛyɛ nsɛm anim kasa sɛnya papa no si atwe no fo no a wɔasa ma ne ma abɛtwe no fo no a ɔpɛ sɛ ɔgya no kɔfa akɔla ketewa no deɛ ɛnyɛ adwuma
Jesse
nsɛmhunu paa maame ne keka no
nsɛmhunu
sɛbi look a fact of life say wunyi kra whether you no funu ya twi ya ntwi o dura certain age a
ebegu
enti enye because first of all bema atwi ni kunu na atwi na ne man so aba betwi ene ama ne nufunu egu ebiem virginity ni kra de end menti ase na o open so ma ware o no na den na nko person onye
the time omaware no wa fa ne sa fa do ni say na asempa beka no pampalupa
say any conjugal right why exercise and sebi it's part of it's a right that the husband must enjoy sebi so all the virginity ne man no say oba no onye wood no feelings or also respond there na and say mu nyina ma enjoy a certain mutual you know for no so all twe no one kem na any de and it's basically it's an enjoyment one more enjoy we asim bi ani o mi di say nsem pa na lawyer ben na open so more church or say man share ni case mu nsem hu pa nsem hu to the highest order.
Yes me osi ubusa warefo wa ha me ni hu asem bi aka me ni hu say akwasi asem pa wo bibi ka aba lady no reliefs na o seek from the court
reliefs into benya dey say you waste time bia bogus extremely bogus
extremely bogus ye lead counsel wa ha akasa o say ni reliefs na o seek from the court no extremely bogus o ye ne denya
and preposterous
into ye ne denya enyi ade no egu virginity no so eko te said the Jesse akano ye nyina de je feelings into the age feelings ye nyina feeling afi eda asem na abebim asem na abasem so ba ye de ano a na ebeka nti charge no enset
asem ben pa na ye betuma aka be pata because I say divorce
no
I no papa
no ase omunya monko set asem no wo fi
asem no ebe gira empempe den na be ma ni gira so a o ka so di jai oba
ye say akoda wisuo bi a we nya no eche dia amachi de hu na o de ne boy nyum
nti say enu de be ma no whatever action we're taking, there is consequences for him to face. And whatever it is, I think the woman should just take it in good faith. Send the man so I said the man.
Yes.
Yes.
Me pacho mum prepare a year mo praise and worship na me ba ma me way ententemo a.
Me idea be here me pa
okay.
Very important. Em say o the unim de ntia me share black so unim dia me the clerk to General Assembly near Ephraim.
Oh
yes, Papa Odonko, the Reverend Dr. Godwin Nino Odonko.
Oh,
Lucy ya.
That be mente Jesse.
And Tuesday and Numena. But me information on Monday, Wednesday and na Papa we dey meet General Efide so. Edi amount me de yako kese pa ama papa shedding papa in fact Kofi se wunima mama ene a council me ne mere enti mama be ye ma me prekope na mama Akweli Odonko the me yapa and say Sunday me ne kasai because Sunday na Mother's Day. Ti me ene me yere ene nkora ni nya frɛ no e man happy Mother's Day me di nkomo na Wednesday about 9 o'clock anopa and I frɛ me the assembly board me to me I was able to put myself together and send Papa a message but say obia say Presbyterian Church of Ghana and they the Kaseɛbɔ na ato yani. Wow, yes, Papa say yes, Nyankopɔn say on one kasa enkra Papa mai o man ahoden o man are chiche because assembly asema emu orem papa ebiem say we within the system into bottom line 2 years ago Papa esi ni nua panyin Reverend Erasmus Odonko. So clearly, I mean, the man is in. It's a very, very difficult time for him. But ye bompa is saying, "Yankupon na wa frena odine juma sheni insano. Onankasa be kano ho na wa buano na wa domono. He needs a lot of grace, abundant grace, a lot of it. Na Papa, we there once again shedding Kaseɛbɔ enkoma Papa." Any nebusiafo nyina
we dear mamin ko to scripture be as in papa weeping may last all night but joy comes in the morning. Papa we dear nyankopon and show them pa when we busiafo just no kra nyina semente
meaning so what is there
no kra nyina semente
me just say the crack abet
right nti we dear fun me mu papa nti me gina Praise of Peace congregation asafuni nyina wa atomic name na mama Papa eye Odonko shedding papa yenko fa we na yemra yenko na yemra. Na yɛde ɛyɛ praise and worship no ɛbɛba notice anyumu ɛbɔ di ana yɛ praise and worship mpanifo atena se obia ɛde ne de ɛbɛba ba ma me nka nkyerɛ ɔsɛ nyame yɛ adom a ɔkyena 9 am happy 98.9 FM yɛkɔ akɔpie mu ɛwɔ old ɛyɛ market ɛwɔ Kasoa old market ɛyɛ lorry park hɔ ɛhɔ ɛna yɛde the biggest inter-zongo cooking competition ɛba so na tie Fadama Zongo, Tuban Zongo, Sanso ena Kasoa ho na yɛkɔ na Zongo wɔ hɔ, Sanso ena Zabun Zongo, ɔmo nyina ɛba abɛhyia ɛwɔ hɔ, na ɔmo hyia deɛ a na yɛbɛnoa Zongo aduane papapapapapapa. Asɛmpa deɛ watena ahyama no nyiye nyinaa ɛnɛ yi ɛna onye sika ɛna aba abɛtena ɛyɛ North Legon ɛna sɛ Legon Hills na onyi nyinaa na ɔte ɛyɛ ahyama na wontimi ntena ahyama wonni ɛyɛ Zongo aduane enti ɔmo recipes ni nyinaa asɛmpa enim ɛnu bi ɛna ɔkyena yɛba abɛpie mu ɛwɔ hɔ yɛne Tasty Tom ɛne Fryto ɛna ɛyɛ sponsors ɛne ɔmo ɛne yɛ partners nyinaa yɛne ɔmo ɛba abɛhyia yɛ hɔ enti mo a mo wɔ Kasoa nyinaa a mo tie yɛn ɛna anɔpa yi 9 am nyame yɛ adom a ɔkyena Saturday munhyia yɛn ɛwɔ old Kasoa ɛyɛ market lorry park hwaa na ɛhɔ ɛna 4 groups anaasɛ 4 ɛyɛ Zongo si ɛba abɛnua aduane ɔmo ba abɛnua aduane paa na ewia a yɛbɛtesti aduane no ɔkyena mekɔ a meme nkɔnua aduane bi mekɔgyina hɔ ɔmo nua aduane wie a me dibi wi a na afi ye nyina ya select the best zongo a ono na ebe wini Kaseɛbɔ de no de ekoye o Kaseɛbɔ de obe wini no no qualify into the interzonal cooking competition no ansa na ifiri hɔ a yakwa kopie mu ewo the finals no ankasa enti hye ne nso se todwa ewo Kaseɛbɔ Old Market Lorry Park hɔ a ochina 9 a.m. come compete and eat sa ena omoka come compete and eat your best zango flavors intino Happy FM nimdie Happy FM enije nko a na de maka nyina open chirim fufuru bi a free number we 0244 143994 0244 143994 empanifo yenkoi akwasi hyase ne yenko
Ndra yohwa na hu say the Sports Writers Association of Ghana SWAG nkrata mienu aba
yes
abontene nkrata no de edi kan no na amosi Sports Journalist of the Year aso afoma no the committee a afidie no omeda no ahwe na yeyi the Sports Writers Association of Ghana Sports Journalists of the Year no committee na be no so mate foforo nti omoda na di mebe no eso later and the second letter no say omo announce the nomination and planning committees for 50th anniversary awards. In fact, afiwe
SWAG in 50 years.
No.
The awards no.
Yes.
Awards in
SWAG awards in 50 years.
Yes, yeah.
It is the longest running award scheme in Ghana.
Sure.
Enti enya 50 years.
Yep.
Enti afiwe no. Impanyifo apa wabedweku a mbehwe the awards committee no ankasa the planning committee and afei so the nomination committee no wapa ni nyina ano eno na me praise and worship main praise and worship in there. Now the 50th anniversary of SWAG is significant because it's the golden jubilee of the awards. Award be any Ghana say 50 years. Enti SWAG then akoye some pay setters. Awards be bring up by eba na egu GME if anything yes Ghana Music Awards GME and it, whatever GMA VGMA TGMA PGMA any idea. This is it about 99. So this is 26th year. So it's also one of the longest running.
Yep.
Now the compare Swagger, yeah, the 50 years, that means your boy more than pa.
Can't yet dear because you are
member of SWAG.
Standing.
Yes.
Member in good
yes,
standing.
yes,
Not
yes.
only a member, but
yes, I'm a member in good standing.
Good standing.
Yes.
To us, mama.
My fair committee members of the nomination committee, no, my fair members ni. The committee is being chaired by Madam Mrs. Rosalind Korama Amo, former treasurer of SWAG. Currently, she is an editor of Graphic Communications Group Limited. And a chairman for and representing SWAG Western and Western North. Chairman for and representing astute journalist. I know him very well.
Yep.
Bright Yabua Taylor, or a sports statistician and a historian. Also, Gabriel Obu, or an expert in least financed sports. Gabriel Obu, and almost every year he's part of this committee because of.
In fact, last year on your President's Award.
Oh, sir.
Yes. The president of SWAG or awards are deserving a year practitioners.
Oh, wow.
And a cut across. Obu was one of them.
Fantastic.
A distinguished a year sports journalist.
Other members of the committee include Matilda Dimedo, women's football.
Yep.
Francis Ofori from SWAG Secretariat. Prince Obiba Eyim Puakwa Brown.
Medium.
Ono Yeyini Efri SWAG Greater Accra. Other represent SWAG Greater Accra.
Sana Mate.
Davis Atukwe Cloty, SWAG Volta. any oti, and a precious semavo, swag bono any hafu, and a John Akwesiata swag central and a Francis Ochre swag eastern. Into we any the committee I'm here for nomination. I'll come to the next one. Prince. Committee na ewo has na year almost nomination. I know almost all of them. These are astute journalists. And yes, you can back on a team in say no, and I can vouch for him. My contention really is that, Prince.
Oh, contention, mom.
My contention really is that this is the 50th anniversary of the award. And a Jumana Edashamun 7 Jumason. Mamun Kogu swag in Numasi. And Koye. No. Okay, fine. Okay, fine.
Admonition.
Yeah,
Admonition.
Yes. Say Mamun Koye Bibia Ebegu Association no Inimasi. In fact, in Penny 14 say no. In Penny 4 because they believe that because there are thousands of swag members. Greater Accra and it's for good reason. He is the chief producer of this show, or dealing with a lot of athletes and their leaders almost every day. He has at his fingertips and also those who deserve to be rewarded for effort to put it in. Into say Prince, Omwa, into Sini. And almost all of them, Matilda and Yenim, Jumedia, Odia, Emma Women Football, in fact, and starting there. And so she also has a Mafu Born, Omo Yadia, Omo Deserve all the products, you know, knowledge, I want to fingertips. So I feel that it is a very strong team. But also, it's a human institution, and we are humans. And we have our biases. We have our human biases. Therefore, Michelle Kitty to move say the president Kobna Bois, any general secretary, Charles says be the barrister. Enya GDA ewumumu yen nyina so enya GDA ewumumu. In fact, you draw a list the buyer no obi no raise any concern about any of the members of the committee. Nyina yo GDA ewumumu no. Ye hwe nimu say mo deserving nominees ebeba out. Deserving. In fact, the underlying word is deserving. And not based on the whims and caprices of people like you, Prince Oiwa Brown. The nominees should not be at the whims and caprices of people like you, Obiba Prince Oiwa Brown.
No, Brofuna can say, and yes, Bia. What the who Koshishimu, or Nipano San, so Pena Semunti, Sem Fatakra, now Kofano to us.
Inti, the best is a marriage master, and me, I have no doubt in the bit my Uko anymore. There is another committee, and Unim Raymond Akume.
Yes.
He was my mentor in journalism school.
Yes.
We've been friends for a very long time. Ghanaian times.
Yes.
I see Mimbusa say, Omu you per the letter na make no. Say representing Greater Accra swag. Is that what was in the letter?
Yes.
Say representing Greater Accra swag.
Yes.
Okay, so Kume ni message ni. Where is swag Greater Accra? And where do they have their meetings? Way from Raymond Akume, Raise Ray.
Oh, now you see this same way. I don't know the entire Raymond Epese or sign a
It's not for you to answer. It's for the swag executive to answer.
Okay.
No, he don't represent Swag Greater Accra.
Okay.
Prince
Jesse, I
represented
think
Swag.
said the counseling is
No.
is good.
Prince unrepresented Swag Greater Accra. So
Like the Ghana Bar Association, for example, they have Greater Accra Ghana Bar Association. And Omo president. Is that what Raymond wants to know?
Yes.
But if that's what he wants to know, that question is not supposed to be answered by
Thank you,
Prince.
Jesse.
It's supposed to be answered by the Swag executive.
Okay.
Assuming that if Brenya were to be here, say Brenya is part of the executive, then you would have given
answer.
a
Yes.
better
okay.
Barrister
see-
Pretty and Tebia on the response.
and then the other thing is that I'm saying that
by this time.
for Greater Accra, because
by this time.
because Prince is based in Greater Accra here.
Okay.
That could be the because I don't know that Swag has in Krabata
On Krabata origins.
and they have executives.
Yes.
Well, so I mean, it's for the Swag executive to really answer this question.
Raymond Puna also
no,
raised it, but no, because so I say Prince or no Swag Greater Accra per the letter nunti. Obeso hu be aya amushia a meeting because on no so Accra nti obese ojoin Swag Greater Accra meetings no.
Okay, where the Canadina that is utia obetime the answer banama kan e de ama Raymond. Media meni answer bi am de be ma no enti.
So you are only
we are based in Accra.
Only why?
Raymond, he's based in Accra.
Oh, okay.
Raymond is based
But
in Accra.
That is why Raymond says Swag Greater Accra no. Obeso we be a Swag Greater Accra no.
Enti there's an appropriate forum obetime akubusa sa asem ne wo.
It's not for Prince to answer this question.
When there's a general meeting, general assembly
But we are Mbogu.
anka me be ka asem bi e na Jesse kan sa na me so okay o de mi nya
Ma obia emfa no out of context.
ba ma menchia no ma menchia Raymond na me ka se nansen o ma me gigs ache first na nko ma me bi pa ba se o ma me bi ma menchia
You say system na dry.
but o baby
Okay, now let's go to the next one.
yes.
That is the committee, the main committee for the grand ceremony.
Yes.
And it is the 50th Swag Award Planning Committee.
Yes.
And our mandate is to oversee the planning and execution of the anniversary awards ceremony.
Yes. The 50th.
It is no joke.
No.
Make I Ghana at 50.
Hey, na ye
Look, 2007. I don't know if the problem when you fika cry. Ghana at 50. Ghana at 50.
Dr. Rekumbrubi na ye
We all saw what went in 22 to celebrate, and we know even as humans, we have celebrating a golden anniversary, 50 years, institution 50 years, huge. So Swag at 50, the longest running awards, it is big, it is huge. I have no doubt that the president of the land, if it's available, will be the one to grace the occasion, of course.
Yes.
He has to be available.
It will depend on
He has to be.
No, it will depend on.
No, so the planning committee schedule
Some of the dates they share time at president.
or Hana Waba.
Obiba, do you know the members of the committee?
I know the chair is Honorable Dixon Chireduya.
Okay, so
MP for Brekum East.
or a Swag member.
Or a Swag member.
Friend of Stuttgart.
Yes, to do an friend is
MP for Bekun West. And nothing so. Our Bono Ahafo, regional chairman of Swag.
Yes.
It didn't Raymond raise concern about Prince designation. So you know appreciate Raymond's question.
Of course, I do.
But Stuttgart, MP. Stuttgart is the Bono and Ahafo regional chairman of Swag.
Yes.
No,
it's
yes,
okay,
yeah,
right. And Raymond himself.
Don't answer you for.
Raymond himself. We have explained, and Swag for explain. He said, the national. Hold on.
I'm saying that.
Hold on. Raymond Oyawe. Menini nyina at meeting. This question ye busa. Ya chiremu say the national body represent the Greater Accra. That is what is in our constitution, and Raymond is aware.
No, so then, no.
It's the most bogus question.
So then, you're bogus because your designation and portfolio is wrong. So it means that you should have represented National Assembly, not Greater Accra.
Oh,
Me
no.
say, send
If,
it
no,
to
if the
them.
national is representing Greater Accra, no. So according to Prince, national representing Greater Accra, any Greater Accra, international representing Greater Accra. So you shouldn't have come from Greater Accra. It have come from national.
So me say me take because manya explanation we nti e balance Greater Accra she ho a many issues
Yeah,
be
but you see,
Many issues we are with
then swag must do
Reverend must
something.
say, "Hey, Prince,
then
hey,
swag,
Ato."
then swag must do something about it because clearly, and I'll use the Ghana Bar Association thing as an example. Ghana Bar Association, almost national president.
by
But
Greater Accra.
Greater Accra National Bar Association.
Matthias.
And I
okay.
think swag must be able to
Matthias,
separate
maybe
national.
maybe a better amendment to the
ISA will Presby structure. See organ Presbytery, your organ West.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
But the point is that there's General Assembly, there's a national.
Yes.
There's a national outlook. So it doesn't mean that national no, national no. So almost based in Greater Accra, then Greater Accra must not have an association.
Okay.
It's completely wrong.
Meaning baby and no rumor die. Any the or no my answer no that. This
I think
question.
Inti, Inti now the committee for the awards planning committee, you know, Stuttgart, and a chairperson, chairman,
Yeah.
and an assistant, a Honorable Kojo Baha Ajimai, former CEO of Ghana Digital Center, and also a member of SWAG, Sports Authority, and Mr. Maurice Kwanzaa, sports editor, Graphic Communications Group,
Graphic sports, yes.
And
vice
president too of SWAG.
No,
former
vice.
president.
yes, and Mrs. Rosemary Mbroba Gezi, formerly of GBC.
Yes.
It's only of you.
The sure so.
Okay. And others include Veronica Comey,
Yes. Deputy CEO.
former treasurer.
Yes.
of SWAG.
Former treasurer of SWAG. Yes.
And they were deputy general secretary of the national.
Deputy,
Former deputy general,
no,
deputy director general
Yes.
of the National Sports Authority.
Mm.
And Mr. Sami Haywood Okai,
Former deputy general secretary.
and
of SWAG.
from the Ghana Olympic Committee Communication Department. And so Mr. William Doji Eza, only a former general secretary of SWAG.
Men count in the history ne kakra wa ha ana
Oh, there be. And Mr. Kenneth Oding Adade, editor, Ghana News Agency. And also deputy general secretary of SWAG.
Yes.
And Mr. Charles Kojo Intim.
Mr. Charles Kojo Intim. Budu na friend Mickey
Mickey
Charles.
Charles of Home-Based Media.
Yes.
Inti of him Home-Based Media.
DJ Mickey Charles.
Yes.
Once I'm kind.
And these are very powerful people.
Yeah.
Now, me when say Mr. Kaseɛbɔ any barrister, I'm the multi boom. That's the epic people are. And I like Mickey Charles in this context.
Yeah.
If you know where I'm coming from,
Strategic. So
Mickey Charles being on this committee
Yes.
is very,
Yes.
very, very, very strategic.
Strategic.
Yes.
yes.
Yes,
And
yes.
that should
And-
mean that the president will be there.
Oh,
Even a lot of thinking.
yes,
in the
yes,
selection
yes.
No,
of
I'm
the
saying
So-
that will
Yes, yes.
equally mean that the president is there. The president will be at the
Oh no, the president there said,
Yeah, I mean-
No.
beyond his
Only
way there.
even the 49th.
He should have been there.
The 49th. He was the guest of honor.
In fact, he would have come. That did not mean swearing in of
ministers.
Ministers.
yes, not mean swearing in of
It was
ministers.
the reason why the vice president
Yes.
didn't buy.
So the vice president had to leave that ceremony and come
Yes. Yes.
and come
Yes.
because it was late.
Yes.
President said to me.
And so what every sitting president ayenya free Flight Lieutenant General Rawlings ABC Ekufuado Obiaba SWAG Awards.
So
Yes.
is the longest running
Yes,
awards.
Obiaba president sitting
Inti,
president
Prince.
Obiaba SWAG Awards.
Now, you two almost share the organization of 50th. Mpanyinfo pa. Bebree ne kura aban mu politicians akɛseɛ.
Ebi mu nso kuta.
Ebi nso egu so ekura mu ene.
Mm.
They are huge and balance wo mpa wa na hu balance.
Me
no.
who balance no. Oh, asempa kasa me who balance no.
Balance wo mpa wa. Balance ade ko Mr. Kaseɛbɔ ade. Omo bi o.
They are politically correct.
Omo balance ade no.
Politically correct.
Faransifo bi wo mu.
You're very careful. Why?
Oh. Na say Faransifo wo and na Jufo nso wo.
Energy for
Faransifo wo and na Jufo wo.
Now, Sadducees is there.
Sadducees wo. Sadducees wo.
Mickey yes Sadusi.
Debbie Farasini. Debbie.
Mickey yes
Mickey,
Sadusi.
no. Mickey a Jew ni.
Me see why yes Sadusi ni.
Suga ye Jew ni. Kojo baji ma Farasini.
Whoa.
Veronica Come.
A Jew ni. Me say my response is Farasini.
Morris, me chia na no pay. Me chia Morris. Otie.
Ena Mrs. Rosemary Imroba gives me who ye. I'm sure obe Farasini. Can you hear that Farasini?
Sami Odokan.
Oh, a Juni.
Is that Joji
or a Juni?
Yo.
And yeah, I split it and I say 7 against.
I'm going to say Farasini for the to say you for.
Mami Kojo also. Yanko, Mami Kojo also.
Now, maybe they are made by and say,
let me conclude by saying that the committees now are very, very, very strong. In fact, also swag and I join me and power. I'm a member, so let me be conclusive.
Everybody they chop on your website. Same thing
let me be conclusive because you dey biana you can yes 70. We are but not say it me discuss. Now, committee now I'm share the journalist of the year, swag journalist of the year now. It's very important. Let's also state it. It will be chaired by Mrs. Linda Asante Ejeyi, but the Vice President of the Ghana Journalists Association.
Yes, minimum.
Oh, okay. Should be assisted by Mrs. Evelyn Insiansare, the Vice President of SWAG.
Yes.
And now, Mr. Joseph Oti Esrifi Mensa, or no, or Takara Technical University,
and also a law student.
Yes. And I think even
I saw him Oti Esrifi, big Oti.
Oh yeah, of course. Okay. And after the acting editor of New Times Corporation, Mr. Andy Norty, or a member, and after Mr. Nathan Lai,
yes,
and also or Ignite Media, or a member,
and I see a Kotele,
and Mr. Emmanuel J.K. Atta, or a head of corporate affairs at National Buffer Stock,
and Godfred Oparijan,
and Mr. Oparijan,
Godfred Oparijan, or editor, Madam Inquisitor, and you know her front page of Inquisitor.
Oh, that?
Yes. Oh, it was on the front page of the Inquisitor. The whole story statement any BBN was in there.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. These are very astute people.
Yeah.
Very, very astute people, and Mojidi say, "Omo be discard and some be man without fear or favor."
Joe.
Yeah, I think that, and I made my member a year. Grace Minta.
Yes.
The reigning when it comes to 85 kg women, I'm wrestling. Yes. World Air Championship, African Championship or Ginidine.
Thank you.
Nansaya the Independence Day I'm wrestling air challenge between Ghana, Benin, Nigeria, any to go say unrest is here the unrest event there announcer extraordinaire.
Yes.
Now IGP Christian Tete Yohunu.
Yes. Abonabaso
no Sabrewe Grace Minta has been promoted to a rank of Chief Inspector.
Yes.
Now IGP Eka Sembia mepese mekan na yehu se we police ni na sports no ubetumi aya na waye den waye ni nti anopa we me bo Grace Minta Abaso we living legend bakope a ono nso ote yanim. Now in summer IGP editu dwano Prince any o say I have heard your name severally but have never met you in person. You have made the service proud. You have been promoted to Chief Inspector with immediate effect. And to some meeting na IGP any police for involved in sports. And on this same way 2 days ago.
Oh.
And do an opponent can person me who ejuma ba me so wo there ma train.
And they appropriate pa.
Enti omuye me on say promotion bi I so we be from next month.
With the
but IGP say from this moment I mean no kasa no.
Enti e be
oh yes,
ni me salary
I reflecting mayor
A bear back pay.
Be a bear back pay to June.
Yes, a bear.
Nti Grace Minta nti wa share your Facebook no wo share won say ono or the medal no egu no ho a I say oh keke waji bibia
swag de na da so swag
waji Grace Minta waji bibia bi in fact oye sa athlete no mo aura bi wo mo ho no and Mekai Africa Games. Oh, that be so or no, another son the aura no, odidi obidi home. But Grace the end there. On one dia why then what part two because Africa Games, you know, Mekai say, no, I think that it was the 85 kg left. Prince, on my buy one, I think from Egypt. Omano like Omano Liwe say I can't not the not to follow now for the University of Ghana girls no mugu omo audience no omo tip now who may try and or 10 year or smiley and pa
buni na Egypt for no omo nyan kwala Egypt for no man kasa Egypt
and nothing me kwa oye no na me suro but na me hwa barrister ni ma na say bibia nya dey
onim na
bibia nya dey nti Yambo Grace Abaso say senior police I recognize their oil no na all can because na mami read the IGP statement review. I have heard your name severally.
Fine.
But never met you in person. You have made the service proud. You have been promoted to the rank of Chief Inspector with immediate effect in recognition of your achievement and sporting prowess. IGP Christian Tete Yonu told Grace Minta. And Grace Minta is an undefeated champion in the women's 85 kg for both the right and left arm when it comes to world arm wrestling.
Me more IGP Abaso.
Inti yambo IGP Abaso.
IGP Abaso. Okay, say Joe after African Games and in the interview, and started champion.
Yes.
The champions are the then IGP no when tie yensemo ye kan obu na so obu nyegu na sumu kra ama ye kan ya when tie enti the new IGP, yes, undoubtedly he will go down as one of the best IGPs.
Yambo Nabaso.
IGP Christian Tete Yonu. Yambo Nabaso pa.
Yambo Nabaso pa na we ensan training call other security agencies no. Maybe in the coming days no. Athletes are omo the security agencies are omo abobra member medal especially omo ti Ghana nimu Africa Games you know so omo nyina no ye ball mabazu because we no ye oman no into way send na bi obi to na maye bibia ma Ghana sports kra no oman na anye den anhye manunyam we IGP ama Grace who say in recognition of your sporting prowess. Say na wo bo wo modern
no ya promote
oman no aye den ahye wanumnyam say wo so aye den wo wate anime nti Yambo Grace Yambo Grace Abaso
ebia sometime next week ye ne no ebetwetwe nkomo about because owini African Games and any interview wa ha no ade ana all pepa na IGP ayama no say IGP be recognize ejuma awaye na pa IGP ba kono wanye but Joe Boamena only asempa na menka nche Jesse say the new IGP no phobia supporter. Enti Jesse we there by way of information we don't make any comment by way of information.
Oye junior
oye
junior ba kon there mitita na asempa na say we for ni bia
we just we by way of information me make comment bia me pa cho fa o bra o praise and worship
Yambo IGP Abaso na baby a supported there no dey me nka ho asem
we by way of information
and I see so am information
for praise and worship bra
okay and then come person mean deal with under 20 no but all the share topic so we'll come to it last week discussion round table discussion bi was and one of the things that he tries here become about Premier League and how our clubs must be sustainable no said this week my dream ho ade ba ko a ya nhwe ya Me sure say our club licensing regulation. Yan hwe ni amfa anto year. Ebe abeto ye nti say the license coaches any side of no ababeto ye some going to me organize coaching courses. Some coaches aka B any C no. 2014 me Henry Asante Tum, the late Christopher Opoku, ye discussion bi. Ena ye di two say Kofi say o hai unyanka obe oni bank mboa asempa wo unyanka wa bank wa set up bank. But regulations no edi a certain minimum financial capital be or why else would tour and about you exist as a universal bank.
Say 400,000 Ghana cedis.
400 million.
400 million Ghana cedis.
Inti
400 million Ghana
400
cedis.
million. Na say 400,000 there ka nkofo a unimi ka obetumi akeka businessman ya unimi ka obetumi akeka
400 million.
400 million. Now Gen Premier League na yebo 2014 I mean the discussion was to the effect say we were setting I think around $100,000 or something to be able to exist as a Premier League club. Your friend, the then FA president, or she said the draconian, too much. So, but I am coming back on this matter. Say, Premier League Ghana Premier League na ye born. SSA ye to me the minimum financial capital. Some facilities are SSA wunya as a club before you can be part of the Premier League. Now a lot of the times, sadly we yenye because club we to abamame, club we yehuwe mame, club we inti semi sadly we ba club we beko from beko down inti yenanye because of voting. SSA etumi trickle down about Division 1. But I want to stay on the Premier League clubs. And it's so important because Kofi say yanhwe ya get hona dama CAF about a certain regulation and say who need a certain minimum capital you can play in the CAF Champions League.
Oh, na send the or that.
No, but in terms of the one usually almost starting implementation gradually. So what am I saying? So for me, I am bringing this up for a certain discussion. Say, and I'm not saying it now. By 2030, say we a Premier League club. You should have a certain minimum capital before you can exist as a Premier League club. So that by 2030, 2029, 2030 season, get me a clubs because I believe that look. See the level at which the level at which you try a players car clubs in the Premier League clubs in the office. They don't have office. And it's and how can you exist as a Premier League club when you don't have an office? A businessman be about transfer say be investing in your club when you don't have an office. When your office when your office is your car boot. Empty me the administrative to executive council and say this coming Congress them find shame na yin discussing na approve say by 2030 you must have a certain minimum capital base to exist as a Premier League club and for that matter as a Division 1 league club. So you to me set this idea we now you den share to kwem now by 2030 clubs because you see the point is that there are certain clubs that ideally they must exist as a community club. There are certain clubs that must be able to go to businessmen and say that look, and there are some Premier League clubs that must be able to merge. Yes, a banisa, a beboy MP, ewo kwanya ye running a football because I say nyoma na ye no ye nyoma too slow e ma ye ka chire And then a bedroom baby near the stadium a dia gross a bedroom baby na Ghana a car piece Ghana on my morning na kesi and kobobo Togo. And yen share your new maybe a ye yen shen ye pa because I am here very soon Ghana football it will come to a point where we can compete. We are not already competing, but but we are in say if you are looking into the crystal ball, we are in very dangerous times. We are setting ourselves up for a very, very, very difficult future for our football. And Sebi, we are able to perceive. There was about a month ago, Mebeka has Asemoha. I say, Asemono, I'm funny, but yet it's one Asemnesi. Nafe, yet to 2 years. Yes, Sepa say Ghana Football Association. Wait there, this coming Congress. Woman fan tum na yina yen to adwini yen set a certain time frame for ourselves. Say by 2030, at least there were 5 years. Every Premier League club has a 5 years to raise that capitalization. When we say Bank of Ghana, they almost central bank, edi omo ade ne buy no. Omo ka say by a certain minimum, by a certain time no. All banks, all universal banks should have a minimum capital of 400 million. Omo and famba enimenimu ya. Enti yen share a certain time frame. Na yen fan to akwemuni yen share because yan hwene sa e bedru baby no. Your clubs no may exist in Ghana, but they cannot exist elsewhere. A very important thing. And I hope that the Ghana Football Association will take a serious view of this matter and then work on it.
Eno eye Jesse Kofi Amponsa ena ote ne nkanso no nso ede ne praise and worship ede abano. Ye ko na Mama Joel ehye na kwa aba na wade amano ne nsem no aba anansa no tie we a reputable air company be say up the services of professional drivers wo license C and D na oma form adwuma enti we de adwuma na aba enti se wotie mi na oye driver ni wo license C and D na o padwuma de a pomodin ase o de wo CV any application letter e be share envelope mu Fabra Happy FM ye wa Salam down roundabout wa onye du na busa se o ko happy a obi a be kire ho deadline no for submission of CV any application letter no May 30th 2025 enti we dwuma sem ti bo homodin se o pa dwuma ye de a bo homodin na fa o CV no ebra Adem the fantastic Joel Eshen Atnase or the year too far at your core amanone. Say a French league in the who the Oye winner did that. The Bundesliga, ye who the Oye champion did that. The Premier League, ye who did that. And Ray, ye who La Liga, Diano. The Italian League and a year who they all winning yet. And Barcelona a winning almost 28 a year league trophy. Joe Memoakwaba.
Yeah, Prince, when will be supporting a year football club Barcelona?
Aishatu Ali Zakaria. Sanso ena Miami Niaba a year Nana Equia Mankwa of Sporty. Miami Nia Kofi Michael Kofi Odro of a Metro TV.
Enti eye akwala na ye fa no Lamine Yamal no. Osi yen kantra Barcelona fa no wo wiase nyina se. This is just the beginning no. Eya shasie. Yes. Lamine si yen kantra Barca fans. Say dia mo hui eyen kete.
Ayo ya.
Na dia ye ba be ye. Eno eye the coming season no. Lamine si yen kantra eye Barca fans ni nyina se. Afei de senior eye Roman Abramovich say Chelsea fans would win. Senior say Alex Ferguson say eye Man United fans of winning as isi ano omo ngin tumu say isi ano omo ye a relegation fighting club no. Lamine si enkanche Barcelona fans na say dia mu hui oh afei e no mo di eye win e di begye Barcelona fans so sa enti eye mo de mo nyina ho na nsem no de ba na be den e be ba but ansa na eye meko eye La Liga ene ehon 7 no ma me fan to dwa say under 20 eye African Cup of Nations a ekosi unim say Ghana fo suban omo gba tournament na ye yi omo frima na Ghana fo nyina eyi omo ni omo nka ho asem under 20 tournament eguso a ekoso na endra semi final no ekoso a South Africa the Young Eagles of Nigeria omo chomo ekaba ko mentumi anti Sanso and Morocco and so winning 1-0 against Egypt and unti third place game no say and ebekoso kwesiada ebe and a game no ebekoso a 30th June stadium no Nigeria and Egypt na about 3 p.m. and afi Cairo International Sports Stadium 6 p.m. and also game ebekoso the grand finale of the under 20 African Cup of Nations, you know, ebebaso abroad South Africa and Morocco and so airborne. Now when him say 4 countries in Inano Oma qualify for the upcoming under 20 FIFA World Cup Chile na nke Ghana to me qualify ya na to me akoye den jinem ha me e won sep to na so endra La Liga games so Atletico Madrid ekwa mo ne mrantie for aso papa aka go back there na nke se Atletico Madrid to me say na so men to me Osasuna etwa mo eka no mienu a o men to me anti Sanso and a Rayo Vallecano and so and Real Betis about 2-2 Espanyol almost so etina ho Emma Barcelona ekotwa mo eka no mienu o men to me anti Hetafe and so etina ho Athletic Air Club de Bilbao Prince Abri Amino Kase almost confirm Oma qualify ya omo kopie mu e with the UEFA Champions League 2025-2026 almost ekwa den ekwa akobo na Barcelona trophy number 8 in the La Liga no Barca fans on I say players no omoje omani pa yenkotie say na Barcelona players esi eje omani after so omo share Espanyol they confirm here as winners of the La Liga season. Na ye say yensa ebekana ye de sa voice etumi ayeden e de abro na wonim say Lamine Yamal medical akare yenkotie Barcelona celebration. This season, unim so obi a ontumi nto ole Arsenal omutu bi acha papa sa Arsenal di trophy pa no mowie no moto ole ye omutu bi FA Cup influence o senum ni na ye be nden ombefa no sa Hansi Flick enso Barcelona manager and Hansi Flick say yan culture investors say Hansi Flick say yan culture investors omo wiase na say Barcelona G League na wie na mo investors who don't 2 games na aka no enu bro mo bebo games no obi eni beje
to finish like a champion. So on Sunday against Villarreal and also in Athletic Bilbao, this was very important that everyone also was included in the defense, and a clean sheet is good also here because they defend really good. They make it Espanyol make it really good, and when they get the ball, the transition how they played was fantastic from their side, but we defend well.
Sama Hansi Flick to just a Sunday where bay omni VR and a bebo and unti says so with him say be a bassa jilly ginaway and ti okoyen and a la passe be a dabi and new bra bassa the bebo game no and unti a kusiada bay and se Flick will bet to me the koguso because bassa any break said the remaining 6 points in our cano omo ebejini na made a home sub air day to when him and ray 2 Premier League games ebeba so Aston Villa Villa Park omoni Tottenham Hotspur and ebebo Sanso and Chelsea the Blues omoni Manchester United and ebebo and then Ray na unim say game na eba so no eye abakosem kakra ewo ho a mede ebe to wanim na Aston Villa enso ewo eye Premier League table no so no Aston Villa betumi about Champions League and then Ray omoni abriye pa se Villa enwini ansana eye Manchester City ebebo eye na watch area no na Aston Villa eto da 4th position na Chelsea Lucy na Villa win am move to the 4th position Sanso and Chelsea enso win game na ansana Newcastle ebebo no na Chelsea enso ehwe edikaya 3rd position nso ekwa na when say Chelsea and Manchester United no about 65 games na 65 games no no emu 27 aye draws Chelsea winning 19 games Sanso and Manchester United enso winning 19 games now Prince the interesting aspect of the game na Everton any Chelsea out of 19 games no winning no emu 13 home wins and emu 6 game winning Old Trafford Sanso and Manchester United 19 wins no winning against Chelsea no emu 13 fie and afei emu 6 enso dem we na just ape into enenumre Chelsea the win number 28 ebetumi atwa so and now say United team say na aye say na ejije say na say other hospital onya oxygen support United betumi win and now say omuntumi win eno so Shabre and Krabia and abede ebetra made ensem AC now unim say na meka say prof this season one shot Tima Otuminto ole Arsenal yes inti Arsenal no emu bad dia omo she
and I say one shot na sa de na ya conclude
yeah man can ye cra yeah this season Tima onto ole but Arsenal nankasa no omabre eninti eno omo share Madrid no Brenyana sempa Germany sa no afi na Matthias but we Arsenal fan na mesrɛ fa me entebia no eye senior Lamine Yama eka no Barcelona bebie membership form enti ubetumi akoye den register Sanso na Man City Liverpool Chelsea ye nyina ye biebie because Spurs nso ebehye Man U agi Europa League no eno nti Spurs nso bebie membership form to we Arsenal fan na say na be ya obetumi enjoy Europa League bi ne kaka ma me fa we ensi ha na abejafo entoa sem se afra me Joel Leshen wo hia me wa bonten a na wo de kakra hia me nsem a me nso meje ne sa enye se Sami Jemfi wa ba
he hold me down and I'll forever be grateful. You know, say since you show me to soccer bet, I dey see grains, talking of good cash out, fast payouts, high odds, and total odds accumulation. Bro, if they go on for this side, Charlie, that be high for day. I be you know that. Bro, soccer bet they do the most. Then my interface they catch me. Smooth navigation and easy access to all the sports games through any virtual games you choose.
SoccerBet has all you need as a punter. High odds on pre-games, live games, and interesting virtual games to instant virtual games as well. Don't be left out on all of this. It's a good thing you join the fun side. Make the right choice today and enjoy all the goodies that comes with betting with SoccerBet. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, not for persons below the age of 18. Gaming can be addictive.
And Okretrodos high sensor, the about chimney television, refrigerator, chest freezer, air conditioner. Now so unim say your laser TV, gas cooker, washing machine, smartphone, sound system, water dispenser, microwave, blender, rice cooker, kettle, iron, air fryer, kakrebim bonon. So ta dear away ho. In few numun tem, se hontachima, near free Fabra, Yensia Mawa, Yabesama, Sese the high sense showrooms, no, a buogana fanena, into Bibina or Patoa, Bonaiko, Nekojodi, Ebi one cry, Tama, Kumasi, Takrade, Takwa, Mankesim, Obuase, Sunyane, Techima, Tamale, Hoy, Kofodia, a Bona da Fomboko, at the mount. Siaka high sensor, near Tredia Echeno, dear Papano, dear Ensang in Amcanian, dear Air Feno, Naya Befono, Bibina Open Chrimua, Frey 0302 550000, and now Quabe for Nansen Tintanaso, Ubenya highsense.com.gh. Your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, any YouTube or so, and also share High Sense Ghana. High Sense, the name was so be abotum, and no.
Today be my lucky day. I just download the Betika app for Google Play Store where I do some small deposits. No, boom! Betika dash me 100% free bet. Today paper. So me, I place my bet sharp. I no go door. As in, so make you no slack. Download the Betika app now and grab your free bet. Remember, terms and conditions apply.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, not for persons below age 18. Gaming can be addictive.
When I get home and want something quick to chop, everything there inside, groundnut milk and sugar. I only need some water, so it's made easy. Kivo carry me, Kivo carry for your office, boarding house. Kivo carry everything there inside, groundnut milk and sugar. I only
Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Mix. Soakings are easy. This advert is FDA approved.
Happy 98.9 FM, Happy Sports, and utie ene anope ene fiada enti eye ne tentem na yako toa ye dwumadi so ye nkan be kase yako di ye yiri bibi but yanopa enti menka sa na mamenka wo se soccer bet se ulusu no kra no mo ma opportunity of winning eno soccer chance ni nyina ne se fa 10 or more matches, 10 plus matches. Na make sure say us no matches na wafa ni nyina us no over 1.30 or higher. Enti betimi aye 1.31 32 35 ekwa animu a say baako say a 10 no or more na wafa no baako say a ye be ma 3 times your stake. Enti enfa so twa 50 Ghana. Na offer 15 matches na baako pe ene say ewo mu a na ye bo ho 3 times your stake into no 150 na ye the amount utwa na 3000 na utwa na 1000 na amount 3000 saa ene ye no we unya wo ba bia say soccer chance soccer bet for ediaba almost men kan cho say terms and conditions apply into she ne nso pa mame na ne ye numunsuo onim se ye num nsuo di a na eye jibu na ye num de kumi kro mo de aba no omo de eye kitchen eye dispensers bi aba pa efe papa na odi bi enu aduane no ewo efie no na nkwala no nso enum bi ade ba ko a woni nkwala wo fie a omo ye na eye fe pa se ensuo omo bugu pa omo bug de wo sink mu egu no omo bu de wo washroom egu no de wo kitchen no nso na omu timi especially my sister man ebe ka me de ne ho de a ebi wo ho a ensuo 1 bag ekọ saida no na esan se jibu e de abenti makọji omo eye 20 liters 20 liters bottle ni bia ba si dispenser ne so omu bu still na ebi wo ho jibu se men kan che o se nye Ghana ha ko a na omu wo 9 other African countries na Ghana ha no omo branches mako enwatweti airport wo close to Alliance Francais sanso na North Legon so Wisconsin kwan so a udru adenta next to Cosby one College of Fashion ye ho osu photo club ho ene ye wo upie mu wo Asalam down ye chira ha ya opposite old Togo embassy sanso na dansuma no ye exhibition runabout wa sotium near Choba Junction sanso na apie mu Madina dia ye opposite social welfare nti bo homodin na beje yensu ni bi wobɛtumi ayɛ distributor koraa yɛbɛtumi abrɛ product no bebree na watontɔn de ama yɛn sɛ wopɛ nsɛm a maka nyinaa wopɛ ho biribi foforɔ atia a frɛ yɛn ɛwɔ 0302 528 669 0302 528 699 Jibu a better life. Sabre de Ike yɛnhwɛ yi ɛnɛ deɛ sɛ Premier League matches yi ɛfufuo na ɛgo Chelsea ne Manchester United ɛna Spurs nso ɛne Aston Villa deɛ ontimi nka sɛ ɔmo yɛ fufuo saa ebia ɔmo ne ɔmo bɔ no
ɔmo yɛ fufuo ɔmo nyinaa but no but say you can't compare no you can't compare the two, you can't compare them. Even points build up in the league, we do Champions League now, they can't compare the two. But Jamaican is Aston Villa for game no, it is so important to them because they want a place in the Champions League. It is up for grabs. In fact, the only team who are making a place in the top 5 for the Champions League, Liverpool. I'm not going to secure the position. Top 5 in him.
Because or your champion.
No, and on a syllable league.
Yes.
No, and beyond that, you know, on a syllable league. Yeah, yes.
Accumulation of points.
Points, yes. Into who compare the third Newcastle to the 7th, Nottingham Forest, 4 points gap with 2 games to go, which means that Obia potentially from the 7th to the 3rd, you know, Obia to have a room in the Champions League. No, you see, if you are being realistically, it is realistically. Obia per the points build up, no.
Between you and Man City.
Between you and any 7, they don't know. Yeah, between you and 6 points. No, between any Nottingham, no, 6 points.
And I cut 2 games.
No, I'm not saying. I'm talking about the 5. I'm talking about the 5. But I'm saying that Nottingham. See, I'm at 7. They are out of the 5. Instead, I may use more points build up to catch up to play in the to be part of the 5. You know. You see. No, even say Nottingham, no. Even somebody even had the same number of points, that way, no, we are ahead of them. So
head to head.
Yeah. And yes, where them put. So goes England put there.
Okay, on put the money.
Yeah. It goes near there, no. So.
But me, I'm interested in Uni City, no. And now who have where they about their call.
No, Mini City at 3 points. No, I'm not saying that Obia point again. That's why I said that Liverpool penna. But from the 2nd to the 7th, you know. And I say 2nd to the because there's no way to not have for it my pass now.
Of course.
Or don't be pass now. So Aston Villa in the last 10 Premier League games, they've won 8. Their last 10 Premier League games, Aston Villa may win 8. And now may lose 2. 2 now were on the road. They lost those 2 games playing away. And their team in form, pass about Premier League now. And so this game against Tottenham Hotspur, you know, they have a huge edge. And the reason is simple. We need, of course, it takes 6 points. Only Chelsea have the same number of points. Chelsea is super against United in there. Inti, Amana have very, very tight and dicey. For them, they are fortunate to say they are playing against Tottenham Hotspur. And Tottenham follow Ekobo the finals of the Europa League, and therefore, almost especially looking at the kind of injuries that Tottenham follow. And they are playmaker, James Madison, out in a couple of players. So they are really tight and in a tight corner. I'm from so and passer. Today it is Aston Villa's to lose. In fact, I see Aston Villa winning this game convincingly. And your game of some struggle to win based on normal form more in the Premier League. The other Dan Shamia game, if no for me no game no. Chelsea ne Manchester United Dan Shamia for me no funu for a belly for a belly game.
Belly game.
A belly. But belly for bala 14 million airborne. And see Chelsea for the match Chelsea any better break par in this game no. Because of the same thing I make about Aston Villa and Tottenham no.
Champions League.
Chelsea for Champions League slot no. And they are within reach. And a victory in this game will push them into that within reach sector no. and therefore they'll put everything in it to win this game. Just for Europa finals, no, easy game. Conference League final, no. Only Betis never. Betis are also in very, very good form. It's just Nyana homegrown. So
that Betis the other.
no. See, it is wrong for us to dismiss this kind of team. Debbie, yes, some two number 2-2.
Yes, and right now
yes, some two number 2-2.
Betis share 2 and
no. Betis
okay,
came back.
Okay, yes, share Betis.
Yes, 2-0. Betis came back to
to
come and
game.
2-2. So let's not discount them outrightly. But in that game, I doubt Chelsea can win the game. Me who Chelsea make me win the game against United? No.
Oh, sir.
You know, no. Me who Chelsea someone win the game against United. In my estimation, the best, even though Chelsea ball home, the best for them a better draw. Yes.
In recent time, I had draw.
And the last 3 games, need the victories are them. But beyond that, none draw, now add draw. Yes. The last one number 1-1. But before then, na 3 number ball, na Chelsea win the previous 2. But then after draw. But then in that game, I don't think Chelsea can win this game. Chelsea will put everything in the way to win the game. They'll go all guns blazing. And United for also where the finals or Europa at the back. And most of them are playing the finals. But I'm saying United for will feel that well, the league is out of their hands. In terms of how they share the Europa finals name. Because the league avoided relegation. Fortunately, they avoided relegation. Fortunately.
Yeah.
They're on the brink.
Yep.
Fortunately.
Yes.
And I'm avoiding relegation. So Chelsea also will see Champions League staring at them. And then the matches for IG3. But going to be a winning game, But
when the Champions League is staring at them,
yes, it's about G3. You also by called grabbing Champions League, And let's also not discount United. They're not doing too well in the league there. But we share for now. I don't know to be born. So in their games we will enjoy them, and we'll see how it go.
And no, Akwesi Asempa, Jesse. Now Akwesi try to avoid say Arsenal beat me about be defeat cry leg log so if in the current position who is saying because the point build up
so many Newcastle
yes
and Newcastle also wants to play Champions League,
of course. Secondly, Newcastle they are sitting on the 4th.
Yeah, it's a very tough game, and my favorite player Joe Linton acquired Gumaresh Alexander
Guimaraes.
Yes, Alexander Isaac any Murphy Anthony Gordon, Gordon has to come home. That's all Befi. Baby one any fee baby any fee but I know the later I come home but
Merseyside.
Absolutely. And Merseyside,
the
red side of Merseyside. Very, very important. So I didn't say it will be an honor to come and play for Liverpool, who are league champions. Mama be father the neighbor. No, the Antonio Boafi. Baby two more will be said it. As in our work, Liverpool as in the brand new winning trophies. This particular game is a very, very important game, pa. Now, Arsenal, a beya mwa say, when we second position, belusu. It will be say, Guardiola unim say, from October to January, Guardiola no winning one match. So, a beya say. Man City about the second.
Oh, but you know that Prof is not being fair to Arsenal. Arsenal also had spells in the league where they were very, very poor. And Arsenal, is it Arsenal beyond having a poor patch in a season?
No, but I'm just
So fact of the matter is that Arsenal so no Prince. Let's state it. Let's not make it look like this. Arsenal patch. Arsenal went.
I say I'm being hypocrite.
Yeah, hypocritical. Arsenal so a very bad patch this season now in the league. When the very bad patch.
We are stating a fact. I'm stating the fact is that
from October, a bad patch.
From October.
But that period, we need how many matches?
From October to January. Man City winning only one match.
One game. That period, we need how many matches?
In how many games?
We are looking at a period. You can check for yourself. I'm saying that.
You are good at checking.
I'm saying that from October to January 2025, Man City per the results no winning one game. Enti ene ebeye disastrous. Say what building a point at least there's only 3 points difference between you and Man City.
It's now so Spurs where they were poor
with 6 points at stake.
I mean, but we are looking at the magnitude.
But what magnitude?
What
magnitude? What magnitude?
Jesse, focus.
So for me, a bit sad pa. Say Mikel Arteta. Better okay. Say Guardiola in the master or Korea apprenticeship. So I wanna say. Inti say the master be pan ho say enye kra. Inti the master be pan ho. Normal. Say the master be pan ho. Say the master no train eduma now wo master or the train eduma or bano or the second position and answer or the second position say enye boni but Arsenal for no better tolerate anti that's it. But very important for me again is Liverpool. As I say, we're starting normal planning.
Yes, sir. In 2 minutes,
as I say, fa league now. Winning with 4 matches to spare. No, man in the other will be they have to strengthen well. There many
say Jeremy
Frimpong. Ubo doku. One can you cry. Doku the other. Wakoto doku the other. Frimpong. Obi Ujani anu ejana. Papa. Correct pa. One right back where papa. It will be asking. Any akoko fan bana. Entity the ejano kwan. Sunu brebre on your uncle. So ako nti Madrid compensation there already £1 million. £1 million. And Momo nya kukwasa bia enti sa ye betwen June.
Florentino Perez said June. Ombeko Club World Cup na bansana Trent Aba.
Fine. And if they want to avoid paying the $1 million, yeah, we don't have a £1 million, we don't have a problem. But Ceci a tutu din bebre. Edim ba kwa ya tia say Liverpool fans ni agye wo ho ni Florent Wirtz na
Bayer
Leverkusen maestro. We future or a generational talent. Was a future Ballon d'Or winner. Na we share the way air corner in originally reports were suggesting say Bayern Munich we are nesa. Say na Bayern Munich for Kokwasa na no more year. Na omu use media need to put pressure on Leverkusen to do business. Ama Florent Wirtz ne papa ne basically the family buefu Bayern Munich pa it is opening the gap for Man City ne Liverpool to because I mean for the Premier League these are the two clubs that have been mentioned. Now what should FSG need the way omu business we be skeptical kakra about this particular thing. Usually Drake has always been say they will get themselves involved in the particular deal and then later they will pull out. And I say the other club will outbid them.
Yes.
So we can talk about the example of Jude Bellingham, for example.
Like
Kaseɛbɔ. And you almost play trick now, but I hope say we and your trick nibia. Because again, you have to also give it to them. Say when it came to Van Dijk, they were ready to pay the right price. They paid.
Yes.
even though Van Dijk was not a big name player, no boss Southampton, we knew his potential. But then the point is that when Klopp said it was Van Dijk or nobody else, they went to pay. Alisson, they were ready to go and break the bank, and they paid.
That winningness, they break bank and
So clearly these are also examples to also buttress the point. So when the player is right, they are ready to spend the money. But on most occasions, no, defe na Liverpool fan, raise your hopes. Na fe, the actual form say to. I hope say Florent Vest the Nentisa because he can team no who they are or your generation. And for me, I don't want to think about baby or Liverpool or your generation talent. Go and just buy him, bring him now and his slot or no who baby or the bebo. But yesterday, na me share squad na we share first 11 say back for Kaseɛbɔ na Jeremy Frimpong na Konate. Oh, Kekes ni Jeremy Frimpong ni de guarantee the baby obeba. So then we are looking at Van Dijk, Konate, na Gravenberch ni McAllister Jeremy Moa na Cody Gakpo or right or left or na Dominic Szoboszlai na Mohamed Salah na Florent Wirtz elbow as a false nine. Sa false nine na Firmino be boy or born here no. Me gidi say Florent Wirtz be boy more than what Roberto Firmino be. Enti yeah.
Yeah, Befi, Asempa.
I mamenya adebi 1 minute. Collins, me we are send o mamenya na me so enko. In the birthday a eko ediama ebusapenyi nana bobe therefore ebusapenyi nana bobe therefore of Asin Ando ene enyina brim but you see oti USA. I know that's not USA. Inti ebusapenyi nana bobe therefore of Asin Ando any enyina brim see not USA. If you Doris any Dora Sako de Ado and the chance of Clement or say Clement or say downtown New York.
Abuaji.
Yes. Clement or say Abuaji. Yes. Inti ebusapenyi nana bobe therefore Yechiao
Yemana
mo hwe Clement ye ema ye
ehona Clement wo
ho so US
me say
no so for no free hona Clement fee
okay
ebusapenyi of Asin Ando hono
inti yenchia no yenchia Clement so
na yenchia special so
na ya kama pa special
yenchia special
onya finally okwa bridge said your own na ya na sanso na didi efe pa nti o de sorry no maintenance o twen o gina o kon so nti o de special nye ska ne ho be efe pa se na didi e kama
se kuto gini bia wo fe
Mr. Fuswapia Aba yenkoi
chifo no ade ato yani na se unim se nche ufi Asante Mampon a ene ne potem fa nsutam ne ade nyina ade ato yani
yes nana da sebre Sebusu the second
yes
na that form the occupant of the silver stool
mo ti wo hu se June mu no ye be nana doti ye eti no so who say ufi kotonchi kwame o zo ni zo ufi kotonchi asasa so
menimpa
na kotonchi ni bia ni eden kotonchi ni bia ni eden but ye na calm
na ni eden
ze kwame no ne bibia o ye bia o ye na calm but untimi mfa ne so sa
on kasaba on home sana minimum no
sana go to chini enti no wani na eden no
ye kasa obi nkasa nanso on home a e hu brutal
sana ti dey azoba
yenko
say no
yenko
mama na dey mama kwa
yenko
me da se braso si ewura man mu nsama wo bi pokwa brown tumi kakra na semedi wuram besima judi ko nom na afei yetimi ede nsama wo wa ebo ano ofie ede brown no nyina egu na nei kaination so se Ghana Premier League no ebi beto aso na se de ho nhyehyɛ no esi etienti na ya na nrade na so ho na ya san de to a na kaination so se didi dramani so akasa ho nsɛm eba na afei po ayamba Samatex Football Club no so unim se ho nsɛm ma de ho esi omo so omo pese omo pre slot be omo pre Abubakar Watara wakasa supporters no mo amo pedasa nyina ode nsɛm atodwa ni nyina no me de baba wo dwumadi we se kaination so se yɛse uhu sɛ kwaakye adeɛ fa yɛde sika na yɛ sanso ɛna yɛse enemrantie a ɔma ba Gen Z generation ɔmo de ɔmo sɛ nyɛ kwaakye adeɛ fa na yɛfrɛ no sɛ ɛkwankyɛn adeɛ fa ni nyina yɛde sika na yɛ nanso ni nyina wie adeɛ ba akoro panifo sɛ yɛnkɔte aban na no yɛnkɔte adurumɛ no ane aban eti saa na tie obi na aboa yɛn ɛma yɛ pa gyegyina hɔ na afei yɛtumi ɛtoa so awura mu ɛwɔ yɛman mu nsɛm aworo high sense me ka kyɛw sɛ na so yɛ no ɛnea pa ɛwɔ hɔ enie ɔmo de slick fridge bi atumi aba na wohwɛ sɛ yɛ fridge n'anim sitia kora na wanhwɛ yɛ na wuro obi dɛm na siwa bɛka sɛ ɛyɛ wardrobe yɛ na ɛyɛ design kama paa ɛsiane sɛ ɛnɛ high sense wadwene ho ɔpɛ sɛ ɔyɛ aberante ɔyɛ abapawa ɛna woyɛ aberewa a wodi mu aberewa preman wate ase akɔkora preman na ha adodi mu saa ne bi no saa pɛpɛɛpɛ yɛsɛ wa wobɔmmɔden na akɔpɛ bi a wei slick dawn wonya bie pɛ ɛmu yɛ bagayambɔ yiri wotumi sɛ ɛmu so yie paa deɛ wonya bi apɛ sɛ wode wuram bia no de bia meka sɛ ɛmu ɛwɔ mu o kitchen hɔ bɛyɛ fɛ anaasɛ mpo corridor no mu hɔ no ade bɛsi hɔ bɛyɛ fɛ kama paa ɛnam sɛ high sense adwene modernization way of living in your home and in your comfort zone enti saa no ntina meka mfo de ama sɛ bɔmmɔden na ɛkɔkɔ pie mu ɛwɔ high sense for ahyɛ na nneɛma ɛnwie pɛyɛ ma wɔma tete nneɛma so ɛna anigye sɛm so ne sɛ ɛnɛ yi anyinam ahoɔden ɛntete ne hwihwihwi koraa sisi America say to Anamoko East Legon Amahia and Afi Accra, Chudu, La Paz, Bachona, North Industrial Area, Junction Mo, Achimota Mo, West Hill Small, Tama Committee 1, Committee 25, Yano, Ubeti and Home, Sansona Kopimo, Kumasi City Mall, Kumasi, a Doom and Kasa Post Office on and so more Poa, Afia Himbronumu, and what Tafon Sono Pacho, Obama de Kopioa, and Yama, Ebetmi, Akon Kaipa, Ediama, Takwa Sunya Tamale Hohoi, or Boasiman Kasim Techiman. And I'm a patcho Kufuria, Munam Kupioa, the patcho on showrooms no for 0302550000. High sense was everyday prices for everyday people. Now, you're free some Nasidia, now you're free a crowd of folk for a share. Now, any patcho Tiepa, the attendant say, and none now who say a year Timua, your friend has of folk ladies with me, Pennyphone be back home, Emma, about job by Omina Pia. Now, share a year Greater Accra, Regional FA Cup no. Omo gisi omo na so no na maami e friend Messi Tego Kwaku so nim se maami odi akotere pa e wo ma football mu odi dwuma se referee wa san be coaching and national team nyina watimi afa say on the house of folk ladies no na di dwuma na no na official enra omo timi e de cap no ko kire owura I friend Togo Afede Asogli State me pa cho opani a odano a house of folk san e ye ne dia na omo koye no say e na Messi Tego e presented at the end to papa no.
First game we were supposed to play a particular team for this trophy. We played goalless and along the line we played penalties and we were eliminated. But RFA realized that we are selling their products and they need to do the right thing. So the arrangement was redone and we met other teams. We worked, fought and today we have the ultimate win. So we are so much pleased and happy to win this cup and also to present to our king, the owner, the bankroller, the king of art of folk assembly, Tope Afede, the fourth, to present this cup to you on behalf of us. Thank you once again.
Nature say, sha, boy and some of my papa, you hear papa the microphone. No, so Timmy Crown, I said a page on you if you know. Then so a success am I and many a sopa, it's as much to be the cap, Abreme.
Great honor. 2 cups, 2 big trophies.
in less than 2 years. Great success. Great achievement. We congratulate you. Thank you very much.
We and someone with me at the two. Now, we have a folk supporter. Me, sure say, a young Drew baby, I will show Urana, a friend Abubakana, a young and you may be a APA, Ubube Fukakra. Now, so when him say, any person, any pejumedie, a sabin predia scientist, and young point to do baby, a so nyabutena, she say, Umneno, and Yabako Bankrum, Papa no enra, what is some cacrabi at me at Tujan or so. What did to me a pass, a rubabia or not, ya national. A man for who say, me patch out the tiene say, or who say any pejumedie. Supporters no so because has a folk in yam one or bois. Supporters no so yamu papa say yo say papa mo say bonimo o yamu. Na so do babia said you koya mo bo mabasono. Say a chance wa mo betimi aka na so na tem die na ya na be fra no. Eno na ya na adwene.
It will not, we need them. Positive, negative, when we need them. Because if you look everything in this world, when we are playing, we need the fans. When the fans are there, it's coming numbers, it shows the team expecting something. When it didn't get that 3 points, or sometimes these people are disappointed, it makes some criticizing. It's normative. We encourage them every time to come because we need them. We need them criticize. We listen to them. Because when it's going well, it's the same people who are encouraging us. Like we say it in Trinidad. It's just a new uncle here. I'm all right to say, I'm to make it as I said, I'm interested. We're fast to swat the do it.
Ono aso ansama hore atu dwa niam akoya mo kwan se mo kase de niam akoya motimi ebo omo abaso no na no nso nkire se ekwan bi so no timi fa so na afa wu twabo omo ese o madapa atimi etwabo omo twantwatan akese da bi wo se saade ne de enye eno haso folk coach ono ba bi o bia no se de na dwekere no o ka ne pepepepe enya de a odi agro na chese wo hwese de esi kona wo se eye prof tia wo se ono ankasa na ekanam se ya ono ankasa anu nsem e na wote ye no ewo ehonom na ye na ne ani na afa ye mfe ani nkyeremu ewo ema football na mu enra anita oredu ebe kasa wa ha na ne kasa ni mu no e na o kyeremu kyese wogiri ye pa se eneyi emapa wa omobobo no omusiso a ade ba ko a ya na ha adwene pa ene se kwan ombefa so atwusu teams na the ono beka ne se eya omumpe teams e beboa mo develop esense ombepe teams a sika ewom ewo ehonom na eno ene ade a ebetia ba mo ntwusu eye development ahead of eye sika ene comfort zone basabasa no.
Aside that no club enye for too much and so enye din too much because if it's the level is too high into your club eye ho ebetimi push you more and then a club or a league that is exposed baby so you look at all these things. There was so much checking waiting na say office bar half time if unya nima seek support seek help from obia unim the European market known to me the pros and the cons of whichever club are oko no or they are total sani awotie no wetimi guide say okay with the 3 options or 4 options now we nyano oko ha these are ups and downs neha then you compare nti mo for money into sika e won say yes obi apeska ho kire ho de but obedi skanechi and then you end up getting stuck bebre akoba bia o mo say it was a bad idea but once I contract newe you have to stay and suffer through or contract time until I think say omunya abotre no mo hwe development ahead of sika
we ayen samoa utimi editu ja ewo honoma yeso de fire super da happy 98.9 enso so timi edema ye konserve from no ewo eye Anita Redu nkomodie na mu no so say ye keke nyina no so no eduru ba bia say de esi etie no omo ewo ne nchen no omo moa wo no omo ntimi enhwe say adwuma no maba wa na hu kura na omo moa no sa da nchen a empo no eye omo nye consultation kakra nso kan.
Yeah, I think it is not only the players. Omo war players ne ho no because sometimes omo more players. Omo share sika ebia or benya, but as a young player the main concern should be the development. Enye sika so wo develop year sika na nkasa be chase you. I always say ye adwuma no ebedru baby no sika na beta o, you would not have to chase the money, but you started very young. Obehu you 17 player, maybe wedi 18, you 20 na obeko club a obenye bi challenging ohwe baby asika wo ebia level no kra endru ho into one foreign based player oba down who compare the performance etoro bi kra obo say even meanwhile more facilities no, and some of them too are lazy. So what kobe bisa kra na you can add up to niamo ye wo ho no, but they always want to be in their comfort zone, and to succeed you can't succeed in comfort. I will say we'll go there, so they should look at development first. Munko clubs mo benye biabo first of all, because more playing time helps you to improve.
We and someone me pacho utimi edit to ja ewo ho yemfi ani taredu nsam no so na fe yemfi ani nchemo ewo nsam foforo adwo bayo mami ye ka no ball bo pa dia onimboye pa na ohwa Black Queens no ye adwumaten owie no wanfa ntoa ofisa mrantie no bona otimi popi ni nyina no sa nimdie no betimi dia impact wo ma ne so a oguso a edi dwuma ema ma football na no no so eba ha bi na ekoba ne so ba no so ono so ha okakra no enya ade a ebro ma ne so pi na ne ha ne se enei se maba wa no ene ade no edu ba bi a ya omo mani so ade hunu ne nya kese so betimi dia to omo tim so o ebi amekwa akopo Barcelona na Chelsea na ebefe posi ebenya sa players no danse abrebia no be say teams kitwa bia ba ya sika bia wo bia no ene comfort zone no mko ebeya nigia for the first time posi ebete se Ghana ni ba ebo Barcelona and as Chelsea club
players so to the be have me problem with players no ho ka we see we di 20 years I was say ukọ team a ubenya say sika be obi we di 20 years o pese okobo no di sika udi sketch a undu I was say o pray say me pese me aim high me bo eko me ebi adachi be me bo Chelsea lady Rona and I say we nti udi sketch a wan hwe obeye ne ense se obeye to me pese me chom say omunya abutre se na omo ahya enka kranka kani de beba to omunya abutre ye pese obo team akesi ne bi na ye hu say for the first time Ghana ha obi atimi akopo Chelsea and Barcelona yeni na yeni virgin
we sama mama e frɛ no adwo bayo etimi edit to edwa na ye na ne yeni na afi yenko e ma football na mu no Paul Ayamba ye obi a ye kasabafo ede ma boboko e frɛ no Samatex 1996 esi na eno na abrantie yi akasa unsomo wo e ma team say omo so qualify for a middle league omo kwohwe se omo betimi abo na afo matimi abepie mu e ma Premier League no mu na Paul Ayamba chemu chese wogiri ye pass Western region no Hazakes ladies ni intellectuals no mo hia dodo na isa say powerhouse of ladies football no kan na afei Western region e bia Central Kakraba etisa ne sa ho kwan dia Hazakes no mre ana say ba bia aduro na omo hia bi no na say omo ye nkofo ombeka omo omo ye bi bia wo mo campus ya so betimi enya slots etimi e de akobo Premier League ma Premier League no ewo Ghana ha
the person yetiminya Premier League slot eba so that Western region yebeye you say wo Accra ho nyina na teams no concentrate last season na I think say Central were 3 teams na Socrates free ho na aka soccer intellectuals ne lady strikers nti omo Central da so wo mu 2 no Socrates so qualify our this middle league so qualify Central be say nya 3 nti so already the powerhouses of football ewo ye zone na we say zone ye 5 Greater Accra, Volta, Eastern, Central, and then Western. You can the powerhouses pa Accra and the Western. Can football pa in history the agents are here. We Accra, Western, Eastern, ne, Volta, ne, even not Central, the Western. So it is not good. Say you have Greater Accra having close to about 7 teams or 8 teams, like 7 teams, 2 in Central, 1 in Western. We are doing everything possible. You buy amount. In fact, after qualification, the FA and some individuals will be say Michael Kwashi and more support to make sure say you beat me in qualification. Indeed, that is it. You are high prepare you move next week na yakotwa yakohwe die nyame edibeye.
Kwaku senchire ye adwuma no papa. Osi ma kwan bia so say me set legacy na sɛ daakye bi mini hɔ a yɛaka sɛ yɛmpa obaeɛ nti kwaku sɛnkyerɛ ne team na ɔmohwɛ ne mu sɛ kwan bi aso no Samatex mmaa no ɛbɛtumi aba bɛpie mu ɛwɔ mmaa Premier League no yɛmfa yɛne nkyɛ mu ɛwɔ Didi Dramani asoɛ da bi a bɛka sɛ papa wei Kumasi Asa no kɔnɔ ɔbɛgye league atoa so mmienu ɔde ɔmo gye Azerbaijan mmaa no under 17 ɛkɔbɔ ɔmɔden ɛwɔ hɔ ma wiase nyina hu ɔmo no nso ɔno na ɛde ɔmo kɔɔɛ na wakasa afa nneɛma pii wɔn adwene ɛbɔ pepaa ɛwɔ bɔɔlo bɔ ho na ɛno na Didi Dramani ɛkyɛ mu kyɛ sɛ wɔgye de yie paa sɛ players ɛwɔ Ghana ha no yɛbɛtie anya ebi a Messi Ronaldo na ɔma sɛ penalty nanso ɔmo sɛ penalty ne nyinaa no ɛnto nso nkyerɛ sɛ ɔmo antreni wɔ ho wɔse mmeranteɛ no ɔmo treni ɔmo alright but football na ankasa no wokɔ game biara mu a ɛwɔ sɛdeɛ game no ɛsitie ne tempo ɛne ne dynamics ɛbɛtumi koraa ba sɛ saa game no mu tension koraa bɛba me asesa goalkeeper bi deɛ ɔmo abɛdam nanso saa goalkeeper no koraa bɛba ɔnkye hwee na ne nyinaa no saa na ɛyɛ a na ɛduru baabi a ɛteɛ.
One moment, if you ask them, they will tell you that we've trained enough. If you ask them, the player who missed it, they will tell you that he's one of the best. How many best kickers of penalties have missed? Ronaldo have missed penalties at crucial moments. Messi have missed before. All the top players have missed before. Franco Baresi missed, all the top players have missed in very crucial moments. That is just part of it's just part of it that we need to acknowledge. Irrespective of you finishing in training and you get to the game, sometimes you need a half goal, but you don't, you hear people saying that, no, they have to do more finishing practices. They have to be deliberate in terms of their training sessions, in terms of, can do all these things.
For ɛne kakra na ɛwɔ akyire ɛbɔ mmɔden sɛ mo srɛ mo momfa nkyɛɛ kakra ɛwɔ ɛhɔnom na Didi ɛnsɛm no nyinaa akyi no ɛna ɔso players na ɛwɔ hɔ no na ɛduru baabi a ɛyɛ sɛ coach ni adeɛ nyinaa no center wɔ players so ɔmo na ma coaches no ɛnya opportunity ɛkyɛ sɛ ɔmo wɔ biribi ɛwɔ mu na ɔmo asua adeɛ ɛti deɛ ɔbɛka sɛ modern coaches no mmɔden sua adeɛ nanso ɛduru baabi na ɛkwan a players no gyina park no so no ɛkyerɛ coaches no ɛnsa no nti ɔmo mmɔden na ɔmo nsa nsua adeɛ saa.
That is why I said football has to be player-centered. The players give coaches opportunities to continuously educate themselves, to continuously get themselves the culture of understanding how it looks like being in a defeat, how it feels like being in moments of success. You have all these ones happening and that's why I said the sport itself is complex, but we try to take out the complexity and the coincidences, and that is why we need to try as much as possible to educate our players and educate ourselves in terms of our cognitive adherence, in terms of
we and someone Didi Dramani 8 minutes to ya na yes sorry so no nka was Ghana Premier League now twa ebeba so na Accra Lions near Diana Stars koroko esone Dreams na face Brekum Chelsea esone Heart of Folk the Beboani afi Basaka Holy Stars esone Heart of Lions the Boani Karela United any Medium Sporting Club Ede Bobuani and afe Vision FC and so the Young Apostles afe Samatex so the Bechem United and nyina no ebeti akoso kotable no so first four no say in city Nations Edican 54 of course Heart of Lions and so toss me 53 maybe any Gold Stars toss me 53 points afe me pacho asane go toss so 9 or 51 okwase on ma relegation threatened teams no say in city 60 position ya Accra Lions omo 32 -6 and afe Lagos City is also a do so 25 -18 and after Swataman Football Club at also doing 15 points minus of 35 goals. Now omo from to be on in this year or the points top scorers no Stephen Amman Crown with 13 on Brekum Chelsea and after a Pfizer Chawate a 11 on a Nations FC na Branty Freno Nana Kwame upon Ewan Pacho baby a from Heart of Lions no on also 11 and no any day etimi ekoso ewo Ghana Premier League na ntimi mfa nsem nyina esia nemom high sense ehona eso okoto o fridge so kokora betimi abo ho for 0302550000 high sense everyday prices for everyday people.
The best. Etoda, wo kon timi do champagne pa. Nanso, wo sike kura wo no. na ye juice ene betumi ato. So so pese wo kura mre kura sika na udwumadi a wudie wɔn mu a wonim dwumadie no etumi dima wo ɛwɔ bra wɔde emfidie a ɛsɛfata edi dwuma no dia ɛne ɛha ho kura. Isanse e-productions ya be sort you out. Frey so open studio and production equipment rental. Emfidie a yɛde twa sene ahodoɔ nyinaa no yɛbɛtumi di bi afam. Corporate and social videography se we do dwumabie a wo pese otwe egu nhoma so. Frey TV commercials se wo ton wo niema na pese amanfo ehunu ewa akasamfoni so. Frey documentaries, frey photography any live streaming se wo twa mfoni kama pa anaze wo di dwumabie na pese brekro no mu a obi biara etimi hunu. Frey why nyom na pese oye nyom no ho akasamfoni a. Frey jingle, IVR, any voiceover production. Frey short and long film. Frey yetete phone humanie 0242 755 323 ana 0302 254 858 ana se
Onuaba onuabema waware mu nsem te sen enyoma akoyie ana wo hu hu ano wabre ana wo ya paaba ana mpo se unnim obi a onene beka wase ene me wasem de bi ma o every Saturday 12 April any Saturday bia from 6:30 p.m. ekopim 8 p.m. Shia Pastor Solomon Afari ene na pamfo a mo wonim die ewa aware mu nsem ewa Happy FM 98.9 a wadi dwumadi a yatu ne din Young and Married Edebro. Get practical advice, expert guidance and real life experiences ebe boa ama waware any relationship akoyie waware ebe yi. Happy marriage, happy life.
And Okretrodos Yeka High Sensor, the about chimney television, refrigerator, chest freezer, air conditioner. Now so unim say your laser TV, gas cooker, washing machine, smartphone, sound system, water dispenser, microwave, blender, rice cooker, kettle, iron, air fryer, kakrebim ponon. So to adie ewa yeho, in few numuntem, se hunchema, nefri yania, fabra, yensi amawa, yabese sama. Se say so the high sense showrooms no, ebu organa fanenina. Into bibina opatwa, banaiko, nekojodie, ebi one cry, Tama, Kumasi, Takrade, Takwa, Mankesim, Obuase, Sunyane, Techima, Tamale, Hoy, Kofodia, a bona da fomboko, Edemao, Siaka High Sensor, near Chredia Echeno, dear Papano, dear Ensen in Amkanian, dear F Feno, Nea Befono, Bibina Open Chrimua, Frey 0302 550000, and now Quabe for Nansen Tintanaso, Ubenya highsense.com.gh. Your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, any YouTube or so, and also share High Sense Ghana. High Sense, the name was so be able to no.
You just got added to the GoTV Best Football Friends chat group. Let's go! Final. It's finals time, and all the biggest players are in it to win it. Catch every Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Champions League, FA Cup, Europa League, Conference League. To cut the long voice note short, you know who'll be there for you when you need to watch the finals. Stay connected to catch all the biggest football finals with your best football friend, GoTV. Love it.
Happy 98.9 FM baby awa utie bia ye ma wakwaba sonko eba dwumadi so akabe wana anase yes na ye di dwumadi ni nyina aba na wie ye sori dia na ye sori ewo bra premu ato na happy Kaseɛbɔ ye second sermon no na happy team no ede beba news team no ede beba na sabre die Kwame Dwumo agima ewo ha Jesse Kofi Amponsa enso wa ha ena Isaac Akosi Asempa enso wa ha na beti kase menka nkyerɛ se wo ho na se ye ma ade free na wo mpa na wo so de ofiri ba bia ofiri papa enti free de obia pe free de bi obia epepa eno ena beti kase omo fa omo betika app ne so no mama 100% eye free bet 100% free bet the obeye no simple eno anse obeko Google Play Store na wakwa download eye betika app no unya download ya na ya ma 100% eye free bet na wetwa na odi dibi osi we die eye most eye convenient way pa enti we easy kra ana say obeko www.betika.com na wafɔ wanya mmɔ ɛwɔ hɔ anaasɛ wobɛdaele ɛnɛ yi wo yan phone no wobɛtumi still a wobɛtumi de atwa wo bet ɛwɔ betika ma biribiara ayɛ kamakama ɛno ara sɛ wobɛdaele *263# ɛno ano no na watwa wo bet waplace wo bet no na ɛneɛ free a wodi biara na wode kɔ w'anim a wonim sɛ ɛyɛ weekend nti ɛyɛ weekend a na ɛnyɛ dɛn a matches ɛbɛkɔ so KB Asante amanone kane na ɔyɛ adwuma wɔ ha ɔsɛ hwɛ woda na wosɔre na wonya aduane bi di wonya nsuo bi nom a deɛ aka ne sɛ wobɛtwa bet nti twa bet na bibia ɛnyɛ kamakama ɛmfa ɛma wo na meka kyerɛ sɛ betika sɛ meka kyerɛ sɛ mo dwumadie a ɔmodi terms and conditions apply advert wei been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana tie ɔmo sɛ bet responsibly afei nso ɔmo sɛ betting ɛyɛ addictive papaapa nti sɛ wonni mmoro mfie 18 a ma ɛmfa ho nkɔgye betting mu betika ɛho asɛm ɛna maka ɛde akyerɛ wo yi betika ho asɛm ɛna maka ɛde akyerɛ wo Kwame yɛ relay team no a qualify ɛkɔ world championship ɛbɛtɔ dwa ɛwɔ Tokyo, Japan. The month of September and a world championship never so you qualified there but not without a year first day no ye yare no esan by me can team no yare nyina akoye change of baton e bi musu still a intimi perfect that act of a year see change no but obesha on the second day no seemingly itimi change in year Emma, it's me the second in our heat. Kwame.
Okay. Once the football, we are training. Didn't know me training. No. So me winning.
Yes.
But I'm me training in no more lose.
Yes.
Okay. Make her ADC as so. The baton training is not necessarily how long say be a mobile practicing. Na ebia drew the day of the event na bibia akoyie. I do not think say any relay team anywhere in the world omunye training pa, but you see there's something we call the occasion. A bit me drew honum. Sometimes even the nerves at the venue, the noise at the venue, the nervousness on the part of one of the athletes, just one of the athletes, bit me cost him so much. Sometimes even in changing it makes me cost so much. Sometimes even baby I'll be jina. Once I cross a certain line, you will be disqualified. And I say to America outside a year more boundaries, and so I makes me disqualified. There are a whole lot of things that go into it. Once as a mood training, you are not training like in that kind of atmosphere. And aside that, no, so say mood training so once a most of the time and then you do the exchange, you do the exchange, you do the exchange, you do the changeover. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, you drew on BB Atimisi. I'm not also saying this to serve us as justification. Say be a to the be a say a seer, not a chess a sanyama wing na intina training woho. What you try to do is say a idea a tatwaswa. Because even the biggest nations in the world, as far as the relays are concerned, every now and then, and you're consistent. The challenge with the end say you're consistent. If you say you're consistent, then it will mean say ABA, BBA will training and then it's not a consistent. A year and KB a one of
and where your second day,
the course was China.
Of course, China. The second day, first day, you did third. Your heating, and me make it. No, first two, any new automatic qualification. Depending on the time, almost 2 years, two a year non-automatic sports, no. But because your time na year, no, the one, no. I'm funny, even we crack Kwame say Osha highlight we are even from Barnabas to Joe Paul no still there was a difficulty.
You see, on the day of the events, no, even some and most of the time the relays are like the last events of a lot of competitions. But we know it was just about the relays. The focus was just on this one. Sometimes even the noise. And also sometimes even the performance on the part of a your band and I said your war chain no crampo no can even force you to crumble. Into some of these things, no, I'm sure say they work on it. One of the times I may say I may share one of the teams or training session when you know boy in the course of the training, the same Bianca Hanka ye training Bianca the 4 athletes no omupe no over and over and over again. What they did was say omube create a stadium atmosphere. In Timefan say in the course of the training, there was a lot of noise. This says any power. This says any ye did just to give you that kind of mindset. Say, more you training in the that kind of pressure is not there. But say could do my pressure no pressure. So run like you are running in the competition proper. And this is probably another option maybe on Mubits me consider. The most important thing they say at this point you are qualified.
Yep.
But this is the thing. For a lot of people who follow Ghana athletics, every now and then almost say the athletes are qualified for a lot of major events. But that's all and then most of the time in Koma and say, oh, Muko and Omuku improve your PBs. So in PBs here, or personal best, which is not bad in itself. And you'll be on the choir who winning. But what you want to see is at some point, performance could room subi. But then there's also another challenge there. A day investment in into these teams to ensure say it wouldn't just be a case of improving their PBs, but mu could draw or mu bit me a compete over the years. So here a year mema 4x100 and I say a ma 4x100. Yenim countries or my idea or share Jamaicans here over the last I said 10-15 years, especially generation and no more the likes of Usain Bolt, they had Michael Freita, they had Johan Blake and a few others. They were dominating the sport. The Americans of over the years almost compete because in say Americans say they are producing sprint athletes does not really appear to be a challenge. Yeah. And then the French are not bad, the British are not bad, and then a number of Caribbean nations. Into almost me put a team together. Maybe are the likes of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Trinidad and Tobago and those other countries. Almost power. But individually, they also have athletes almost me competing at a very high level. So among competing as professionals are almost to America, most of them almost to America. To me improve to me compete at a very high level. And then Kroos or free also make a lot of investment into their development. Into consistently no more yard. Yedi knows what to say. Omunya Kwenya no it's me kusku abrochi over the years me who various 4x100 teams are or compete Ghana. Menkai Kra, I remember all African games as far back as 1995. GTV year. It's amazing, 30 years. We had Imanoto 4, we had Solomon Omegache, we had Nelson Boateng, and then at that time, Liuma Sumusafin and also Eba. Over the years, team no I evolve via Mekai Abdulaziz Zakari no time, or no Christian Isian Abudia, and then there was a fourth person I cannot remember. We have not been bad, but this is the thing. Is it okay to just go and compete? I saw a lot of people were celebrating the fact that you qualify and will be competing at the World Athletics Championship, which is great. But competing is good. Performing to a certain level for me is always better. So they be a bridesmaid. Nobody remembers you for being a bridesmaid. At some point, bridesmaid. At some point, which will be to pick up a medal of any color. Mekai say South Africa at the last Olympic Games or Paris. Almost leading sprinter, your friend Akani Simbini. What try in the individual events, 100. What try various Olympic Games, various World Championships. Want to mean an individual medal, but it was the men's 4x100. Or France and South Africa. It is second no munya silver. Ya unya kwenya ko video no and go and see how they were celebrating because for all the effort I know we put in. Apart from the last time I born in home the World University Games, which was the first time I'm in Huno, about 8 or 9 years ago. Now, on to me, we need she because the 100 is so tight. On also 1 year there with 200, so he barely competes in that one. Until for about 8 or 9 years, no, Sa silver medal now with me, boy, South Africa, he was so happy. They were dancing on the tracks and celebrating. Into me, I am excited. Me who say your team winning a gold medal at the All African Games, and I was very happy about it. But what I would want to see, say the team will go beyond just qualifying. But then again, me assure that Kofi be raising the issues of a day investment and now you would see so that at some point, then we can say, oh yeah, the 1 million share more preparation. It's based on Tikaya the share and now these are the expectations we have. In the course of the week, I noticed a opinion of that sports ministry, Kofi Adams, who share the various federations. Me assure say nkomo be break or honum. And one of the things I say was the issue of funding. Okay, yeah, budget here.
And the sports bill.
And the sports bill and how we find money and all of that. Okay, your budget for the year 2025 with sports is about 65 million cedis. Me sure all you aware. So 65 million cedis no in $5 million. Yeah, check SAS Kanama. I think says it's here federations, but this is number 47 was a 48.
48.
We are also very much aware so football can be to me this kind of SAS can be so
one qualifier.
And no crowd to me call into wages and emoluments of the staff of the ministry and National Sports Authority near him. So how much is actually invested into sports? So then it would fall on the federations, so say be almost on the pep coin be so almost on the pisca to help nature. But about support no bar, so or mine also benefit. And see until the government puts in something, that's a federation also be pekakra at their social to help develop our athletes to the point on me not just competing but to win levels, to win medals. Then I'm sure say we'll be celebrating. But they be a konenam han wasaba, they be a konenam on wasaba dear. Sebi your fan koyasifi.
Eno ena Kwame Ekana meba Jesse but ministry sika sama na kan ene kurampo no yati ametimi akase even on budgetary allocations no kran Ministry of Finance and for escano and to
accounts
there be and to ministry no accounts ma asat enra enti bia enimu se ne minister
ye kasa yi
ye bia ye kasa because minister no so eco finance ministry de bia
so no action
enti still he's very handicapped really very handicapped ewo ho a ene all shall say ebeba but once a team na qualify ne de obi te said the Kwame kan it should not be about qualification. You see me maka say say team we especially a 4x100 this quartet here we say almost me win major and for my me I'll be surprised me maka asem we did that and yes what really is this almost World Championship almost the last time Budapest almost Hungary the last time almost besan Tokyo. Should it always be about qualifying because there is not investment and I say that next level they should get there, Jesse?
Well, me can say Ghana we only participate in tournaments. We don't prepare to participate. Preparation out. Say we September on.
Yes, September.
Between now and September, is there a program? I'm sure the Athletics Association, Ghana Athletics, has a program, but that program has it got a funding? Have they? Is the ministry going to make funding available to them? Where are they going to camp? When are they due for camping? Oh, Kwame Asemna no come. Changing the reason why the other countries don't experience what we consistently experience. They say one more competitions. And competitions now so one more athletes there is consistency in the participation of these tournaments in these competitions. And once assuming say this year competitions are here relay no one to me together. Apart from September the NIA ban, is there any competition available for them? Do we have the capacity to raise funding? And Sisiano, by courtesy of University of Ghana, Legon, more top-notch facility. Can Ghana bring Nigeria, Togo, or maybe some 4 countries for us to do a relay tournament? Do we have the capacity to do that? So it's about giving them competition. Competition are changing. They will be used to the atmosphere that we are talking about. So I think that the key thing is 1, funding being available. 2, by virtue of funding being available, you are able to organize competitions for your athletes, and now say you are able to get them into competitions. So those are the things. Say ye per se yenji medal beer because clearly talent is there. Clearly, Opepano in terms of the administrative setup of the Ghana Athletics, I mean, clearly, it's not because Bawa is my friend, but clearly, so, and bottom line is that, say, onya the necessary push, the necessary funding now, there are a lot of things he can do. But, Esan say, associations need also, no more competing for very, very, very scarce resources. And you mark why my to me sports need. And no BM ejira ministry so any national sports authority say see I create a ministry for sports and recreation. There are some of the associations we must start categorizing and put them as recreation. Sabe ya omo to me mba say omo ba be diska. Omo ya recreation say I mean then the ones that we think say have got potential to earn us medals. So I think that Mr. Yampofuankra, one of the things that he must be looking at discussing with his minister, any a BM yes president board no on famra. So because these things, this categorization at the end, it has to go to the board level. Sebea, at least they can look at it carefully because the Director General himself cannot start categorizing it without a board in place. So that's what they call a board. Now board need discuss. We are a co-ministry. The ministry will give them the approval is given. Then we can now design. We now have a design criteria for which any sporting federation must qualify to benefit from government support. Important. ABM for me, Mr. Kofi D. Adams. And he has a sports funds, and as a funding component of the sports law. He has another talk shop. Mamen kind of kakra, wako ministry but me kaino. Ayariga yebi, so kai. Honorable Ayariga, it was in and around October, thereabout. I think Ayariga the year call 2015.
Yes.
Immediately after 2014 World Cup, they appointed. After Honorable Sefi Ankara had been relieved of his position. And Ayaga was the one who was appointed.
So, and they Ghana call 2015 AFCON.
Yes, I say around October 2014, and I organize a seminar now how to fund sports. Honorable Kofi Adams document me so say
Honorable Esiama Kransu yi.
Me ba be basu ya butre. Nti Honorable Esiama de no ye International Conference Center. Emma Dr. Keke Sapon nom ni yi ekukudampa Dr. Kwame Amwaba ni akunum nyina ba e de adwenkyere ba. Eno na Emma ye put it together a document to set up the National Sports Fund, and also enti Honorable Kofi Adams on here another seminar bia yesterday conference bia conference bia conference ni yaye documents no wo enti yesterday. In fact, under the previous minister they were trying to put together a sports sports policy document. I scattered. They were trying to put together
synchronize
and this swag
stakeholder engagement
Tank Palace say former president of the Ghana Olympic Mr. Benun Mensa share another platform. Then I was asking him, in fact, one of the sad commentary that he ran about the thing that was being put together, and he said, as a document of history, I throw history now. Yes, sir. Honorable Kofi Adams, only just a document. Now, baby, no baby. Especially funding documents in the door so far. Yes, sir. Now, here another seminar. Yes, sir. Papa. Say sports ministry no. Organize another talk shopper. That is, they are not ready to work. Honorable Kofi Adams, if he's ready to work, documents now the predecessors now a good one. One fa one can now one share kwanya ye be faso and we don't need another meeting. In fact, ministry one more ministry any staff any national sports authority bet me transfer put this documents together and then get it. We don't need another talk shop. And very important. For me, it's sad. Say, you were second quarter. And the second month in the second quarter. What's the ministry, Ministry of Finance and credit your account. Na salary is the omu tuya there.
Send your controller.
Anti controller tuya. But sikana omode be di juma. Anti sa school sports authority ni sa no mani na Ministry of Finance omunti e won.
Since what the bar send we start the processes.
No, but say scanning by.
So you start the process.
You
start the implementation.
Scanning by. Yes, Honorable Atu Forcing. Yes, no pa. Me sure say Black Stars and Obe pay scan over bia. Inti yes pa say one more days Obema Honorable Kofi D Adams. Sikana Obe credit your account. And sports ministry and credit here, but agree they are accredited. Sir, if they agree, who here change sports? And yes, sir.
Just here can athletics see there. Memoir do one see now. We every Ghana athletics for her eneba. Almost say Ochina athletics in Accra. Or say Ochina is athletics in Accra. 16 regions, 6 security services, and 23 athletics clubs. Enyina be converge Ochina. 17th April 2025.
17th May.
17th May, sorry, 17th May 2025, 8 a.m. At the Legon Sports Stadium, University of Ghana, and for U20 and a senior athletics championship, and no Accra Open Championships. Because yes, fly no, and that's no. And come and experience Ghana's athletics powers and making of our champions. Ghana athletics creating champions for a year, creating competitions for tomorrow's champions. And 16 regions omo athletes ba 6 security services so omo athletes ba sanso na 23 athletics clubs so omo athletics ba na 2 categories U20 and afi seniors athletics championships and so ochina we every Ghana athletics ho and abai
the
competition
very important very important and hopefully they should be able to unearth a lot of talent from this competition. We sikaka krai kra o menya no mo hwede o mo ye nti mo muska scan dia hunhia pa mo muska na o mutumi nya adwuma no na emfa mo a o man mu
ska mo de ye we de asefri o mo boto
na make no say dabi enti make say o mo ankasa o mo akora o mo hu yi e na o mo nya o musika e na ye nhwe de o mo de ye enti ye see the food dia pa no on ye piano enti say athletics Ghana athletics food dia pa dia yes o man mu ni nyina mo pia o mo pa
na Kwame yan samra bi mu weekend big power for women's football. It's answer the women's football festival no baso kwesi adai emano Premier League finals and FA Cup finals and betudwa papa so minim say wadi e kira na wotwi mu omaye promotions pa F no ayade pa na no bi busa say na F ni timi promote ma football say na mema no de no and I am promote general secretary so mema no bi mu ye stubborn mema no class na bi mu ye stubborn pa bibia be ka kire mu bia omo mpese omo be
but on twina ba no fa nhwe
omo mpese omo be
on twina ba no on twi aba no
we no Premier League 2024-2025 Women's Premier League championship final no ampem da ko a onim say no yes Kwame ene da so a ohwe onim say emano league no enye national in character enti e born 2 zones enti northern zone and a southern zone na enti champions of the northern zone ampem da ko a ampem da ko ne die oma betumi azakes ho na oma gi aboso na this season this season police ladies ayɛ Azakes bibi paa ɛyɛ papaapa ɔmo antimi ama Azakes a mɛbɔ for the finals nti police ladies ɛne apem daako a ɛna ɛde bɛbɔ ani nti double header Premier League no 6 p.m. na ansa koraa no na Jolina say Jolina na mewɔ mefiri Azakes Jolina ladies enso any Faith ladies ɛna bɛbɔ FA Cup no nti FA Cup finals no 3 p.m. na afei Premier League finals no 6 p.m.
Faith ladies no more than so no.
Yes, more than so.
Nti who say me go school or than so.
Yes, St. Martin de Porres. Yes.
Nti me back Faith ladies.
Okay, and I mean so me wo Jolina.
Me Dr. Godfrey Akutubuafo. Yeah, supportive Faith ladies in this one.
Me wo Jolina. Na the entire me wo Jolina ne se Kwame. The former parliamentary candidate aspirant Edema Progressive People's Party. Ono ena Jolina ne dia. Ono ena Jolina ne dia nti eho ena me wo se bring nti double header edema ema no weekend win.
Just like you said, Yana and Pimpino did it now a man ball bono. It's nowhere near the guys.
Yes.
And you know, if for this reason, I see just like you're saying, who say a lot of flyers also multiple sports platforms. So I always say it's one thing to be, advancing a product on social media, which in itself generates a certain level of attention, but to mean discarded traditional media. And so I hope say ABR between and Ekusi a year kakra. It's not much, but if that can also be driven, because we live in a part of the world that said the numbers are not only on social media. Omo mutimi kinkai and also omo mutimi funny amount of social media. Beyond a certain age category with a certain level of education. Do na that social TV that's what you radio. Inti no more share a honso account. To be honest, me
but follow TV ni radio power.
Yes, I make us in Nina. I'm not saying it's almost yet, but I'm only saying say more intensify a hand more intensify a hand so. The thing with the ladies game, no say who's there. A woman, Yana, once in a while, me share a few highlights or streamed applications. So, a woman no been so package highlights kakran so no diaba na mabo many akoma. So I may not be familiar with both teams like at a very high level, but these are two teams that me follow more kakra. I mean, over the last couple of years, and I think say Omuminu on the back of their performances, have done enough to get to the final. Akwakwa is a man. Yeah, Pimpino, there's nothing like we are clear favorites, and we are supporting cast on the day. The Obebo no home day, based on how we are motivating the players, whether with something or ABI in crime share, and the Obe catch room. It might just do the trick for them. Until we may wish you all the very best of luck. And say Bruni can be the best team.
And also, I don't know, Kwame, Jesse, women's year football festival weekend. Pekoso Ewo Legon Sports Stadium.
Matilda, Bonabaso
pa.
Oma Bojuma.
No, I'm a catcher general secretary. Ghana Football Association said, on Sami Jenfi. On Sami Jenfi, Matilda.
Very important.
Catching on Sami Jenfi, mama.
Fellow copite, really, Wasuma. Yeah, Jumano, Fred Matilda,
on Sami Jenfi, mama. On Sami Jenfi, Matilda, mama.
Na ensu.
Your money no, and our man kakra.
Since they will be our $1 or Kruma and Esna Mijan.
And your mother, I don't want $1 or more.
Boys are
Samijan few money. So Samijan few money. You have a true story, no papa.
They say, we will be our time. Shall make you Samijan few make Samijan few make a good. They also
you have a born Matilda Basso. I think truthfully, young colleague lady journalists about women's game now. One more than power, piapa,
the lives of Abigail and Nekia, Akusia J. Aisha, they say, Wakoko Bimans. But still,
but I believe, say, almost year, Jumapa, and then they also get support from their men colleagues. Did say, I brought him Aquana. Or Tybon who modern pa Benedict Felix Romark is with Ampem Dakwa, and he's helped a lot with these things. Mijidi say, look, Mijidi say there's a certain push we have given to women football over the years. Mijidi say a wapa, but I think that we can do more for the sport. For me, I want to always use the platforms that I have opportunity on to always rally the women caucus, women caucus in parliament, women caucus. Baby, I say, woman bra on board now, woman boy, a man football and I am pian court say, first lady or these are things that I believe that come together and then really further push the women's game. The women caucus in parliament, my boss. But I believe that all these political entities coming together, these big wigs who are women in politics, I think it would be nice. Say, for example, somebody like Joyce Bar Mukhtari, for example, special aid to the president. Now, or YBB on the Facebook page, and saying, Shamima Muslim, or type posting your mapa. But I believe that these are people, personalities who are ladies, and they must be brought on board to try and push the game, using their personality, and then of course, bad. So I believe that there's more that we have to do for the game, very important. But of course, Faith Ladies, Jolina, no, is special because this FA Cup final is special because for a very long time we have been bogged down by Hazakes and Pem Dakwa. It's been too monotonous. But for the first time, the Faith Ladies, Faith Ladies in a share Hazakes.
Yes.
And that game was really interesting. And then to have Jolina also there. These are
Jolina and Podi almost free Division 1 bar Premier League
and chair. So I think that
first season FA Cup final.
As I said, you bought two teams in Abasopa. Now you bought FA Cup committee, so Abaso Ejuma Song or my Miami Aba, and then I don't know super. Rosalind Amu.
Yeah.
Clearly, I mean, as FA Cup committee chairperson, wa now I hope say the final will give us a befitting game, a game that a 6 p.m. there, so Premier League finals.
Police ladies. Season where police ladies are Yazakes
but I believe that knowing the two teams and the pedigree that Ampem Dakwa has, I will stick out my neck for Ampem Dakwa. I know police ladies have done very well. I mean, in terms of
this season
they've been excellent. But
a lot of investment into the team.
Absolutely.
Some recruitment.
And it is also good, say, security agencies in the say at least police for immigrations for there's army, and I think that it's really good. And for me, for police ladies to get to this stage, it will be interesting for them if they win it. But hey, sitting here and looking at the pedigree that Ampem Dakwa has, I think it's fair to say they stand a better chance of winning that party. Police ladies can surprise me, no problem about it. But for me, in the FA Cup finals there, maybe I'm a one and more. Faith ladies.
Because of
for the sake of St. Martin de Porres, Faith ladies must go out there and win and beat Jolina ladies fair and square. Now, woman GFA Cup, now enye kama. Faith ladies, so minimum boy to my party. For all the work and the investment they are putting, I think it is fair that they win.
And Jesse Kofi Amponsa. ɛka ɛno ɛnso ɛno no na yɛnwie wɔ ha na afei yɛnhwɛ sɛdeɛ ɛkɔ kwame yɛn under 20 no asɛm o
wohia me paa
ayɛ me ya o ayɛ me ya papapapapa ayɛ me ya ba yɛwɔ 15 minutes nti yɛnyɛ 555 ɛyɛ minute na yɛmfa deɛ aka no ɛmfa course kakra na afei yɛnsɔre because ɛbɔ 12 deɛ a na yɛ overstay yɛ welcome nti yɛnhwɛ kwame
okay obeko kwame
wode hyɛseɛ ma
right hwɛ
hyɛseɛ ma me
hwɛ I think that you destroy a Black Stars. Wonim say Ghana ha your team building no you nim say team no ekọ do quarter finals into ye mboa players na no to as and graduate your there bi ye no I just work win di second
when we need
when this second we don't think about team building until we share history no pa the Bissau say 2001 under 20 no 2003 under 20 team no on kai obekai
there be
2005 okay
there be
2007
I just am here research
there be on kai because 2007 player back one kind Douglas Nkrumah but team because team no qualify into win more
you qualify co world in the end will be
who call world no ko ball and world no cry qualify cry no cry another man ko ball who more and ye kai so and that's how we have done our team building. That's the attitude. It's wrong, but that's the attitude. Until 2009, me bought okay, and
yes,
okay pa. Until me bought 2001, so okay
pa.
Me bought 93, okay
pa.
Me bought 97, okay. Me bought 99, okay. Because that team no mo ko ball mo ho modern. Until you try almost you pia almost. But that's not the purpose for which FIFA created these and tournaments. By yen kromo hano, yet team builder has seen only when the team has gone and has gone to do well. Into way, I can confidently say team no moko and they are officially disbanded. Obi anti omukabi. Ebia, I just say individually players need be konom kobo mo diana. Ombe aku PM or Black Stars. Obi ti say Jerry a free year no possibly Aziz no names Sankof to me bomb who more than there and you bet you under 19 for 2019 team no come go win so far how many of them are having the impact? It's only Fatah Dauda and Mr. Fatah Dauda Fatah Shahaku so it's for me
Bani a corner club on share that money
yeah so for me so for me problem no pa ne say 2021 team no yenim baby omo meba so omo anya ade 2023 team no yenim baby omo anya ade into way 2025 there no aba be ka ho. Do you know what it means? What it means is that in the next 10 years the Black Stars will not have these otherwise teams that would have progressed to go and help with the national team. What it means is that our under 23 squad, it will be difficult to raise a team. Now, this particular administration, allegations be a cause say team selection and I say under age tournaments no and be cronies ne and for sembi ekoso and one more the use national team as a platform to sell their players. Now, so selfish at the end, say, and Jaya say, to and car a bit higher and a bit disturbing in football. No, Ghana Football Association and that's the Ministry of Youth and Sports. One more a singular duty. I saw more. The saw more, and say, because the nation spends on the under 20 team, they should make sure that right players are selected. And I have proposed severally say at the ministry level, no, they should have a technical team. So we are under 20 coach now. You have to go before the technical team to justify. Why is it possible? Say why is it that between team Bako, between team now Okobo All Africa Games, any under Wafu, any U20 Africa level, no team now. Nature SSR. So we were not able to keep a consistent team. Sebi, sa conquering 2019 no. so ọmụ kọ wafu ọmụ kọ bọọ wafu n'ibi mgbe a in fact ọmụ kọ wafu ọmụ fi ọnụ ọmụ dị kọ Rwanda ẹna ọmụ dị kọ world. How many changes took place? baako mmienu bi pɛ ba ɛne akɔkɔyɛ sɛ nkurɔfoɔ bi afa national team ne de ahyɛ ɔmo bɔtɔm ɛna ɔmo de yɛ deɛ ɔmo pɛ, and this must not be tolerated. It has to stop. Ɛsɛ sɛ national team no ɛyɛ national team, ɛsɛ sɛ ɛyɛ national team of Dreams FC, ɛsɛ sɛ ɛyɛ national teams of Heart of Lions, and ɛsɛ sɛ ɛyɛ national team of Vision FC. It shouldn't be. It's a national team, and it must have a national character. It shouldn't be, say, and Crofobinum for national team, they say, a platform, say, inquire the better on your players. We will not allow other people to say Abdul Salam, to say other people who may have otherwise very good players. See, under 17, you will see a similar trend. And that trend, you know, it's the same minister, no, Obieneni. Not in a nice form. No, she says that trend, you know, we put a stop to it. Because under Mr. Nyantechi, these things were not happening. I don't know, Transiama and Kofoka Krebi Pena almost supply players for our national team. Why should it be so?
Yes, yeah.
Da almost console almost for results in back. Say, one more year the sign and results in back. Any yen I became a notum. Now, no more because of that, under 2001, 2021 team, 2023 teams were Bobo, 2025 in Subabekahon. Then in the long run, it is the Olympic team and the national team that suffers. And today, Nam, now a pack in Ketiacho, so Mebomaye, Yenam, near Gepa, you can say, hosting Audrey, so Mebomaye, because we have failed to develop players. What's that?
Kwame, can back. College no class started bad that. No, it was a promising team to me. It was a promising, good team. Just that, that's how football.
Squad now you who on the day near boy first match. I don't know how can one say.
No,
that team are release a day.
No, me busa just one clarification. As that team no.
Yes.
Only the Omunkomu.
Pachuane.
Ah, okay. Right. Okay. So let me take it from where Kofi left off. I don't want to, as a sankomo no yedia as to amount for the omu players shimuni adia yedia if been collaborate ya. But me, this is the thing. Say be ye wahei na ebia bibia ye wa happy bia you will be our Ben Prince and okoye ama ebi organization. Na nipa krono ekoye na all yadia. Then it becomes very difficult for you to complain. And anyesa. Because Nipa Chrono ultimately Namo Hesse Nipa Chrono Beko Yadi and Wayadi. So what is there to complain again? It's no we did cry in Kusiaka. But here is a case where consistently no Nipa na ordinate consistently no that person is not performing. What does that say about you are Odam? Because if we are now made to understand say various national teams. In fact, we will be President Nankasaka said the days where ABI befa players or Messi Akanya the Amateur national team, ABI coach no one be decided and it's long gone. So what that means is that ABI the other Bebabiano, it is discussed, it is decided, and all of that. But if consistently these same players that we're choosing to go out there to go and perform in the name of Ghana consistently or Munyadia, it cannot be the case that ABI coaches. It cannot be. The problem cannot only be coming from one source. Because, and I always give this analogy. In my lifetime, I have seen a lot of national youth teams. Coaches, the selected players. They went into the hinterland, they scouted everywhere. And she says, yeah, almost every youth team be very lazy. I also move with 4 clubs. 4 clubs when I walk room my own. 4 clubs when I walk room. It's almost every time be a honor free. And consistently when they don't go and perform. Because in my lifetime, who teams are your form as far back as 91 players are free under 17, echo under 20, echo under 23. Who at least men can cry me who team be a deco 93 or Mauritius. I could win the African Youth Championship. I saw call final Australia, you lose 2-1 to Brazil, so Bekaya. And how a greater part of that team, formed the bedrock of the national team of 10 years or more at a very high level. Me who team call 2001 Argentina drew final almost a drew final African edition. A big crime about 13 years at the national team level. John Pencil from that team, or national team to 2014. That's 13 years at a very high level. And the number of players, they are your generation, see you here. It's when the mobile, so it cannot be say it is a coach's thing. It cannot be that it is always a coach's thing. What about the people who are supervising it?
And especially when the one supervising is a journalist and he has criticized this thing before.
Your frozen over every fan.
Lawyer ni free order.
Lawyer Moano ko meet you.
Mami ntia no atifu na.
Lawyer weekend we se bibia koye mamia. Meba down, meba behwe Kotoku Royals any Hoho United no. Kana meba behwe bi. Mate.
Nche di kan fama isami dem fini maame agrada amami. Why?
Eno ase ne sen.
O sana mo kan mo asem kakra.
Yen kan hwe mi ana me kaka asese se opi obi ama dollar o se sami dem fini. Asem e kan. Kan wasem kan. Lawyer kan wasem ne.
Kotoku Royals ne Hoho e ball no. The best mpanyinfo Ghana mpanyinfo sɛ Hoho United wa ɔma yɛ ɔma adi sɛ ɔmo deɛ bɛyɛ great way to team a ɔho yɛn nkyɛn a yɛade sɛ bɛyɛ great way to save busuwa na referee na ɔbɛgyina mu no ɔno nso nyɛ n'aden sɛ ɔbɛyɛ great way to ɛfɛ ayi super anaa cap sɛ yɛate deɛ ɔmo yɛ nyinaa o ko ayi saa Hoho efo sɛ ɔmo kɔ away a ɔho nneɛma ɔmo yɛ no ɔmo sɛ ɔmo bɛhyɛ ɔmo ati sɛ ɔmo akɔmpa. And yes, one saying, yes, a bit near my engagement. If you're better on breath, no big room, on from Ramay and Mayor Juma, yet you're down a home start for the saying too. Yes, if this one gets up at the year this year, for the saying on me, yes, you're the show me at home. Now, make a draw that you're 40 more Bamu, former power, young Sunday, yeah, deep 3.4 more, the 40 years on the coin. Almost Jimmy Semenka 2 point difference. But say, oh, we all might be Baby Diamo, but yeah, Massa, the near blue.
And no, Medase so Odiaba, your frozen over every fan. Kwabenya Moanonko. Oh, Abuomo and also original station.
Station.
Oh, Kasane.
Comrade Dubuahi,
Minimum Cabinet Dubuahini.
Mamisha, the papa, who did the Akromunia de Batuma Kofibuati, the one Yabuchi, one Yabutre. Kaka, me can say, Emite, it's a Yuakata. Mini wine of Kwame Dubai to my knee for the Jeffrey, I protect a time, make it be. Debbie, I'm a pepper. Yeah, we have get any now, football in the year with you. That we will give you a penny for the best year. Me and that's 20 years. If you don't hear good, I bet job. Some contract here. Every last one year, who are the person there? If you are not reference, then you fall back at the room. They are pushing it. If I go last time, many years, I will go with them. We can move what else when we are here.
Mensu Medase, I had the offering, be saying, say, Yapon, area, Anessa. Na mamin kai was a happy on wheels ba Kaswa New Market. Friday 30th May 2025. 2 to 6 p.m. Until be share a pahua da ben team no led by Ura Bismarck Brown. Na ba nyenkwa na ba the National Fire Service for eba National Road Safety Authority mpanifo assembly members na afi Wutu Senior East Municipality mpanifo ni nyina ye eba. Na yɛne ɔmo ɛsan aba no nso no ne yɛsan de Save the Eye Foundation mpanifo yɛba abɛhwɛ yɛni so papaapa ne ahwɛ yɛni no sɛdeɛ ɛnyɛ wɔ ho biara no Save the Eye Foundation for bɛma yɛn nnuro ma ɔmo ahwɛ yɛni ama yɛn drops de agugu yɛni so a saa nso ɛna fire service for ne ba ɔmo ɛba abɛma yɛn road safety tidbits ɛno yɛ road safety authority for saa nso na National Fire Service for nso bema fire prevention tips and also said the betimi aye na ja wo fie kura eja ba watimi esi ho kwan kai say is happening ewo Kaswa New Market 30th May 2025 2 to 6 p.m. Happy on Wheels, your voice, your power. Aha eni ebegina na yeje jumedi yede
the either Ken amani ampo mea moba 2001 president mpamocho me mamu awoda papa